welcome two-time WWE Hall of Famer, HBK, Shawn Michaels!
Well, listen to this place, Booker. Already kicking off with a bang, the driving force behind NXT, which recently has become even more of a proving ground, as we just saw on the kickoff show.
Here's Bob. Here's Bob for Shawn Michaels.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to NXT Deadline. Now, this is WWE's final premium live event of the year, so I just have one question for you. Are you ready? No, I said, are you ready?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your gimmick. Do you want to tell everybody to suck it now? Or is that, we don't do that anymore?
Hell, I forgot.
Look at us. Who'd have thought, huh? Me and you.
I just want to tell you something. Nice hoodie.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot my HBK merch. Sorry.
That hurts. That hurts, young man.
No! You guys made up. I made up with Triple H. This is all about healing.
Anything is possible, baby. Anything is possible.
I got good news and bad news, if I may, real quick. Do you want the good news? What was that? The brilliant thing about you forgetting everything you're supposed to say and me forgetting everything I'm supposed to say is I get to do this. I'm backstage. Quite a few people come up to me and they say things like, I grew up watching you. And they take selfies with me, and now I get to do it with you because I grew up watching you. That's a beautiful thing. I missed my flight today, and I owe you a phone call. I thought I'd come in person and talk to you because the big question is CM Punk gonna be on SmackDown or is CM Punk gonna be on Raw? Or is the newest NXT superstar named
NXT is a brand where iron sharpens iron. A place where all challenges are about survival. Where making the most of limited time has always been essential.
Perez has realized a dream of a lifetime!
A pedigree where promising superstars sharpen their skill to sculpt indestructible careers.
The next generation has arrived.
Tonight, 2 new Iron Survivors will emerge.
Who's gonna beat the clock?
10 of NXT's current prodigies must use their limited time wisely. As the clock ticks away, any misstep can lead to a costly penalty. With championship gold on their horizon, these gladiators must survive the clock to forge an iron grip on their destiny.
Who will stake their claim to a golden opportunity at Deadline?
Tonight, 2 survivors are destined to achieve an iron existence as the clock approaches Deadline.
And now, WWE presents NXT Deadline.
What a moment we just had on the final premium live event of the year. As the hours have turned to minutes, the countdown is on. Welcome to NXT Deadline. And there we see Dragon Lee alongside WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Mysterio, of course, this past Tuesday let the whole world know, including you and I, Book, that Dragon Lee would be facing Dominic Mysterio here tonight. That's because Wes Lee was supposed to be the challenger in this matchup. We learned Tuesday Wes will undergo back surgery, be sidelined 8 to 12 months. Best wishes go out to the Cardiac Kid, but is tonight Dragon Lee's night. He has excelled on SmackDown. He's competed at Survivor Series. Book, I'll ask you, just how special can he be?
He is special. I mean, Dragon Lee is truly that good. Could be the next great mad superstar endorsed by one. Rey Mysterio. We're going to see how this thing play out in an awkward position being out here tonight. Rey Mysterio.
An awkward position.
No.
So awkward about it.
No. Awkward position meaning he's got to go out here and represent for one Rey Mysterio.
Oh, he's in an awkward position.
Yes.
A lot of pressure. I get what you're saying. Well, there is the NXT North American Champion, and it's very interesting as I'm looking around. I don't see Judgment Day anywhere around right now, but we want to welcome you to ringside, two-time WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and we're joined by a fellow Hall of Famer, the greatest mask of all time, Rey Mysterio.
How you doing? Book, good to see you.
You too, brother.
By the end of the night, I don't know if you're going to be thanking him for some of the things he's been saying about you, and we're going to get to that.
Hey, let's put it all on the table.
We're going to put it all on the table, but we are set for the North American Championship to be decided.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT North American Championship! Introducing first the challenger, Dragon Lee! And his opponent, representing the Judgment Day, he is the NXT North American Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
There's no doubt who the NXT Universe is behind in this matchup. Book, I'm sure you feel that Dom should have had the night off tonight, that his original opponent
Why would you
couldn't
think
compete.
that? I welcome this contest, man. I take nothing away from Dragon Lee, but you got to understand, this kid, Dominic Mysterio, he's like the wind, Vic. You can feel him, but you can't touch him, but you know he's there. That's scared, man. He's that good.
Come on, Book. You know there's no such thing as a night off in this business.
And that's true, too. That's true, too.
Dom looking over here at you, Ray, and look, Rey Mysterio, you've had a lot to say about this matchup. You've had a lot to say about Dragon Lee. We mentioned you kind of made this matchup, but I got to ask, how you feeling because we saw you on the crutch?
I'm taking it day at a time, Vic.
Well, right now, Dragon Lee throwing caution to the wind, looking to fly.
Wow.
That's what I like to see.
Another big shot early in the matchup here against Dom.
Dragon Lee is coming out of the gates hot, and it has been a surreal moment when you talk to Dragon Lee just to be in your presence, Ray, just to be around you. As Dragon Lee right back in, Dom able to stay ahead, gets caught. Oh,
wow.
Right to the face, and you gotta wonder, Book, I don't see, where's Mommy? Where's Judgment Day? Where's Priest? Where's Balor?
Look, who's the North American champ? Who's the North American champ?
Mysterio.
It's Dominic Mysterio. He's a man that writes his own ship. Oh, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest North American champion in the history of NXT.
And we could have a new North American champion, Mysterio, able to kick out at one. But you know,
why can't you give him his props?
What do you mean? Do I give him props? I give his props all the time. But I want to bring up something that you said about Dragon Lee, because now that Ray's out here, Ray, you anointed Dragon Lee the future of Lucha Libre. What do you see? What do you see?
I mean, everything. I see a lot of me in Dragon Lee, a young me. You know, he's innovative. Oh.
Submission now, Mysterio trying to navigate his way to the bottom rope, as you were saying.
He represents Lucha Libre and the Latinos and La Raza, you know, to the fullest, and he's always willing to put it all on the line.
You know, Ray, I mean, he's special. He's special. But I wonder how far this kid is going to go, because he idolizes you. He lives in your shadow, something that Dominic was willing not to do.
Oh, and Dragon Lee just got caught in a nasty, gnarly landing from the top.
You know what? Can I say this? Dominic Mysterio is the youngest veteran that we've ever seen in this pit. Wow! That's just taking it to the street, man. I love it.
Well, you know, as you mentioned, too, when it comes to Dirty Dom, I mean, there is added pressure, don't you think, on Dragon Lee's shoulders, Book, because of the comments that were made by Rey Mysterio?
Of course. I mean, Dragon Lee, he looks up to Rey Mysterio. The pressure that he's under right now, I mean, it's got to be astronomical. Me personally, I would have wished Rey Mysterio would have stayed in the back for this match. I'm just saying. Nothing against you, Ray. Nothing against you.
We know each other for a long time. You know how I put it on the line every single night I step in the ring. Dragon Lee is the same way.
Well, Dragon Lee in the bad way right now, and it was Mysterio.
Right there to the short rib.
It was Mysterio who cost Dragon Lee in his match on SmackDown against Santos Escobar in the United States Championship Tournament, and is now systematically dissecting.
That's another question I have. What was Rey Mysterio when Dragon Lee needed him?
Well, he's here tonight, and look, Rey could be providing extra motivation for Dragon Lee, and obviously an extra distraction because Dom hasn't taken his eyes off his father here ringside.
No, but he's still taking
into the cover, hooks both legs, and a kick out.
Man, still taking care of business in there like a machine right now, methodically taking care of Dragon Lee piece by piece.
I want to apologize for Book Ray because I know how much you love your son, and I'm sure it's been hard for your wife and your daughter to see Dom slide deeper and deeper into Judgment.
Of course, very hard. But we all see the same thing. You know, he's manipulated by Finn and by Priest and controlled by Rhea.
You know, as a dad, I understand, Ray. We all want our children to do better than we do. And I must say, Dominic, no diss to you, has done almost, perhaps, maybe more than you at this point in his career already. I'm just saying.
Taking the wrong route and hanging out with the wrong people.
You still stand by the stance that Dom has done more than his father?
Look, take nothing away from Rey Mysterio.
He's sitting right here, Booker.
He's a five-time cruiserweight champion, but you got to look at Dominic Mysterio. He won the
He's a former world champion.
But it took him years to get there. Dom did it in his first year, man, capturing the North American Championship. That is a prize like none other, Vic. Come on. La Raza, baby. Oh, yes.
Absolutely disgusting display as Mysterio up and over into the cover to retain the title and lead. Able to kick out one more time.
Ray, again, you've been a great champion. You've been a great ambassador for this business. But you yourself, you got to admit that Dominic Mysterio has done something that nobody has ever done in this business.
Has he done it alone?
Yes.
No, he hasn't. And Ray, that's the point I've been bringing up week after week, is that he's won championships, he's been victorious, but he's always had
look at all the backup. Look at all the backup that Ray had back in the day. He had so many people pushing for him, looking for him to be in that spot, wishing that. Come on, Ray.
Nobody fought my battles, Book. Nobody did.
When it comes to fighting battles, Judgment Day has not had the best week. It started with the former NXT Tag Team Champions, the Creed brothers, shocking Dom and JD McDonough. By the way, the Creed's #1 contenders to Balor and Priest in the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. And take another look at this, Ray.
Be creative. Be innovative. Don't steal people's moves.
Can I say this? Can I say this about the Creed brothers? Those guys are going to be a generational tag team. Many champions.
Whoa!
Trust me.
For a second, Dragon Lee had it. Mysterio got it right back. Dirty Dom into the cover. And
look at that. Uncanny strength by Dominic Mysterio.
The distraction of Rey Mysterio out here. Dominic has continued to lock eyes with his dad.
He's used it though, Vic. He used that as fuel right now to just dismantle Dragon Lee. I'm talking about surgically, man, piece by piece.
And again, no one has ever doubted Dom's ability in the ring, but he made claims that his back. No, because I've always given him credit, except he needs help, just like his father said. But now, evil intentions on the mind of Dom. Dragon Lee doing his best to fight free, and out of desperation, able to create a little bit of separation. As I was saying, it was Mysterio who's made claims that his back is hurt from carrying the WWE. The issue with that statement is he's making that comparison because of Wes Lee. But Dragon Lee now, talk about back problems, spine first, where steel meets wood.
Did you see that? Wow.
But we all know.
Wow.
But we all know that Dragon Lee has to get Dom back into the ring.
Wait a minute. This was gnarly.
Boom! It certainly was.
Right here. That was a big shot right there.
Lee has to get Mysterio back in the ring. The only way the championship can change hands is pinfall or submission. The referee now up to 6. Dragon Lee could see the title opportunity slipping through his hands. Referee is at 8. Referee continuing to count. Mysterio looking for the win. Dragon Lee, though, continuing the fight. Both men break the count.
Right there at the last second right there. That just let me know that both of these young men are willing to fight for it.
Well, this has been a very interesting night. CM Punk has arrived. Shawn Michaels and CM Punk in the same ring. At the same time, the reason why trending #1 is Deadline. Not to mention the greatest mask of all time, Rey Mysterio, joining us on commentary for this opening matchup for the North American Championship. The champion, Dominic Mysterio, just got laid out by Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee right now is trying to let it all hang out right now. Maybe this could be that last gas.
Mysterio, who said this week that he has nothing left to prove. He certainly does.
That's it.
Right.
He's out. He's knocked out.
Oh, wait a minute.
Dragon Lee trying to do this, trying to win his first championship in front of his mentor, his idol, Rey Mysterio. Another vicious kick from Lee.
Dragon Lee is on cruise control right now.
you what.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mommy's watching and she's not happy.
One mistake.
I'm enjoying this.
Second
I'm
time.
really enjoying
Come on.
this.
Second
Come
time.
on.
Is
Come
this
on.
gonna
What
be
that-
enough?
I gotta give it to him. Ring awareness. Very big.
Uncanny, veteran-like skills, Vic.
I think that's ring
come
awareness,
on,
something
man.
that he learned from teaming with his father
No,
early in his
no, that's
career.
not it. It's just in his DNA, Vic.
From
It's
his
in-
father
it's in his
again, Booker.
blood.
Do you not know how that works? The blood comes from his dad, too.
I'll give him that.
Oh! What a drop kick from Mysterio. Lee might be out. Into the cover again, and another near fall.
What a picture, perfect drop kick. Still have the stamina that Dom has at this stage of the game is unbelievable.
Oh!
Whoa!
This is the first of two championship matches here tonight, along with two Iron Survivor matches and the steel cage. Dragon Lee looking for that power bomb. Able to counter shift
got
away by
caught.
Dom.
Got
Dom now
caught.
countering. Looking for a power bomb of his own. Connects. Cover.
Good
Jackknife style. Still not enough. Woo-wee.
I just jumped out of my seat.
Well, we don't want
I
you
didn't-
to, because
yeah.
obviously we know you're still recovering.
Wow.
Hats off to Dom in this matchup, but same goes for Dragon Lee. Lee! Oh, no.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do that signature move
I
that
hope
he
he
made
slips.
famous.
I hope he slips.
Pointing right at you, Ray. Looking to hit that 6-1. No! Lee, of course, had it scouted. Lee going up and over. Lee trying to continue, finds his balance, finds Dom. Powerbomb!
Oh, you got it.
No! You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now. Dom just slipped out the back door right there, bro.
Dom was able to kick out. You give the devil credit when it's due. Mysterio coming right, gets caught this time. Dragon Lee, is this enough? Cover.
Oh my God! We got a new champion. We got a new North American champion.
I haven't seen you this happy in a long
Oh my God! You see what happens when the Judgment Day is not here? That happens.
Unreal. Dragon Lee has dethroned Dirty Dom, and this was back and forth throughout the matchup. Dragon Lee, though, was hitting high offense after high offense. Dom was able to continue, though, to push through in this matchup. Almost able to retain the championship right there in that moment. But then Dragon Lee would stay focused on one goal. It would be to drop Dirty Dom to capture his first piece of gold here in NXT, here in the WWE, to the joy of his hero, his idol, his mentor, Rey Mysterio. Dragon Lee has done it.
What a match.
What a match indeed, and the future of Lucha Libre
Así es.
is now the new North American champion.
El futuro de la lucha libre. Para toda la raza.
What?
Sí.
What a moment.
Cabrón. Por la raza. Es por la raza. Por la raza. Representar a México todo lo que da.
Well, we've already crowned one new champion. Will we have a new NXT champion? There you see Ilya Dragunov, who is calm, at least for right now, arriving earlier today. His challenger, Baron Corbin, certainly knows how to push his buttons. Or does he? Huge main event still to come here at Deadline. And we'd like to extend a special thank you to the Hives for Countdown to Shutdown. The official theme song of Deadline is from the album The Death of Randy Fitzsimmons, available now on Apple Music and Spotify. And And coming up next, these 5 women will battle each other and the clock in an innovative concept that combines strategy, will, and determination. Who walks out the new Women's Iron Survivor? It's now time to go to our ring announcer, Alicia Taylor.
The following contest is the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge! There is a 25-minute time limit with 5 superstars competing to become the #1 contender. 2 superstars will start the match. Every 5 minutes thereafter, a new superstar will enter until all competitors are in the ring. Falls can be won at any time via pinfall, submission, or disqualification. When a superstar scores a fall, they will earn 1 point. When a superstar loses a fall, that superstar is forced out of the ring and into the penalty box for 90 seconds before she can re-enter the match. The superstar who has scored the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes will be named the Iron Survivor and challenge for the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Evil!
Well, Booker, look who drew #1.
Introducing first, Fallon Henley!
Certainly quite the start for Fallon Henley, who will be riding an emotional wave into tonight. She won the last chance match this past Tuesday for this opportunity.
You know, coming out #1, I call this the short straw, Vic, because you're going to be fighting uphill all night long. Stamina is going to come into play.
There you see the penalty box, and Book, this is what I want to highlight in this matchup. Again, when you lose a fall, you go into this penalty box for 90 seconds. The clock, by the way, for that starts as soon as the competitor's feet hits the floor on that walk to the penalty box.
Of course, that's when you can really make some money, man. Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to it. Combos.
Next, Blair Davenport!
Well, this is a superstar who believes she's the favorite in this matchup. Based on the fact that she made it crystal clear on Tuesday, she could care less about any of these women in the field in this Women's Iron Survivor match.
Yeah, she talked about Soul Ruka, Nikita Lyons, even tried to take out Roxanne Perez. The motive operandi. She will take you out, man.
Talking about some of the women that she has attacked during her tenure here. She did get quite the surprise Tuesday with the return of Nikita Lyons.
But you can't blow that house down, man.
This is 1 and 2. Book, would you rather start 1 and 2 like these two, or come out a little bit later, let's say like 4 or 5, so you're a little bit fresher?
No, like I say, coming out early, I feel like that's the short straw, because you're going to be going against an opponent that's going to be just as fresh as you are. When you come out late, you can just drop the hammer, man, let it all hang out, try to build up points quickly.
Well, there you see the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. No longer looking for the first fall was Henley. You also see the clock that is ticking at 22 seconds as Blair into the cover and a kick out. That clock, when it gets to 5 minutes, a new superstar will randomly enter this matchup. And again, the goal, as Alicia said, get the most decisions at the end of 25 minutes. Pinfall, submission, disqualification, shoulders down 1 more time. And again, Fallon Henley would have been pinned there. She would have been making her way to the penalty box, where she would have been sitting out for 90 seconds.
But it goes back to my point, Vic. Both of these opponents right now, they're fresh. I mean, they're dry. They don't have any sweat on them or anything like that. It's going to be hard to get a pinfall this early in the matchup.
Oh, up and over, looking for the pinfall 1 more time. Center of the ring was Fallon Henley, shifting the weights. Davenport, shoulders down again. The referee getting some work in this matchup. Another near fall.
He better get his cardio in tonight as well. It's going to be a long night.
Up, over, 1 more time. NXT Universe trying to help out our official in this moment.
Vic, just think about all the energy just being used right here, just trying to get a pinfall, trying to get a win, trying to get some points. It's pretty hard. It's going to be hard on these ladies.
Again, this is what it's about, Book. Get as many decisions as you can. Take all the opportunities as they come as both women back up. Another
beautiful.
Wow,
I thought that was it. I thought that was 3 count right there.
When you talk to Fallon Henley, she's had a moment of career doubt, was lost professionally when you actually talked to her. When one day she was sitting in her family bar, she said she looked up, she saw the top shelf spirits and realized that she wanted to be a top shelf superstar. She said it began on Tuesday, and she'll start to solidify herself even more like a fine wine here tonight.
I think it started way before that. I mean, Fallon Henley, you know, former tag team champion, was a champion for about a hiccup, but she knows what it tastes like, and she wants a little bit more of it.
Oh, the Wicked Witch of NXT focused right in, and another nasty kick. Well, that earned her first decision in the matchup as that clock just over 2 minutes, 15 seconds at 5 minutes. A new superstar will enter, and Blair Davenport is in control now, and we know that she has evil intentions on her mind in every match she's in, not just tonight.
Blair Davenport, she's definitely wicked in a lot of different ways, but she's very, very capable of going out here and getting a victory. Right now, she's just punishing Fallon Henley.
Start to think of the other 3 superstars who are sitting right now who have been randomly selected. They got to be sitting back and starting to watch for little bullseyes as you see Fallon Henley focusing on her back, how they can exploit those weaknesses once they enter.
I tell you now, they're like the bull in the bullpen right now, just anxious to get out and get in the middle of this ring and try to get a Vic, this right here.
Looking for the decision here, looking for a pinfall and a kick out.
This match right here is a game changer, man. It's a life changer winning a match like this. Trust me.
It is an innovative concept, a revolutionary match, and I just see you every now and again looking over here at the penalty box. You getting flashes back to the coal mine?
I mean, I wish Cole was in there so one of these ladies could beat the hell out of him.
Once one goes in, they will be in there for 90 seconds, and that's really when strategy will come into play later on in this matchup, when all the women are in this match, and someone's in that 90-second penalty box. When they look at the scoreboard, they look at the time, because time will become a factor later on in this matchup as we're approaching 60 seconds. And then that next competitor will come into the matchup, and Fallon Henley might be thinking right now, just survive for this next, what would you say, 70 seconds for some help to come out.
Any way you look at it, Vic, any way you look at it, it's going to be a long night for these ladies. And I say, whoever come out number 5 is going to have a hell of an advantage in trying to win this thing, become the Iron Survivors Challenge.
Talking about the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. We talk about Fallon Henley. Josh Briggs is in the Men's Iron Survivor matchup. Rooting interest as well for Brooks Jensen for both these matchups here tonight. And Fallon Henley now trying to turn her luck around a little bit here in these moments, because she has a one-on-one matchup for the next 40 seconds, which actually is down to 35 seconds. And Henley, here we go. Big right hand.
Fallon just missed out on getting the cover right there, Vic. She could have garnered some points, perhaps.
Now into a cover, looking for the first decision, and a kick out by Davenport. 20 seconds left, and this no longer will be a one-on-one matchup. Again, the superstars were randomly selected to make their way into this matchup. Who will be Superstar 3? We will find out in moments. Oh, no.
Making her way to the ring, Tiffany Stratton.
It was about 35 seconds ago I said maybe Henley will get some help out here. Certainly this is no help. This is no
beautiful, baby.
And again, Fallon,
beautiful.
Henley's got to focus on the task at hand. And this is not very good if you're Fallon Henley in this moment.
Tiffany Stratton knows what it's like to be under the bright lights. She knows about matches like this, experience-wise. She got it all. Can she come out here and become the Iron Survivor tonight?
While you bring that up, does that give her the advantage, being Tiffany Stratton, having been under the premium live event lights, most recently in the main event of No Mercy against Becky Lynch?
You know, I don't think anybody has an advantage in a matchup like this, Vic. You got to keep your head on a swivel, but as far as experience goes, Tiffany Stratton, she's been there. She's done that. I'm talking about to the Nebula, baby. Oh, yes.
Well, there's no doubt in Tiffany Stratton's mind who is number 1 in this matchup.
Tippy top.
Believes she is going to become the Women's Iron Survivor. Believes she's the favorite based on 2 characteristics. What she told the media this week, being pretty and being privileged.
I like that. I like it a lot. As far as my keys to victory, Vic, you can't rush a pinfall. I mean, you got to look for those opportunities. And earlier, Fallon Henley missed out on perhaps a cover. And I'm talking about you got to exploit those mistakes being made in matches like this.
Well, Fallon Henley, it's been 2-on-1, and she's looking to exploit some mistakes here in this moment because her back's against the wall for the next few moments. Coming right back in, and now, big clothesline by Stratton. We talked about last year, we're going to crown 2 new Iron Survivors. We're not going to have a repeat from Roxanne Perez here tonight. Do you think anyone went back and watched last year's matches for some sort of strategy? Is Stratton locking in a submission, as is Davenport?
No, definitely you want to go back and look at a matchup like this because it is so unique. I always talk about that preparation. The only luck you're ever going to have, and right now they've prepared to take down Fallon Henley, and I like it.
I don't know how Fallon Henley is hanging on right now, how she hasn't given up, how she hasn't tapped.
She can't tap.
She can say, I quit, book, and get put in the penalty box. She's not doing that. That is showing you the heart of a champion for Fallon Henley. Gotta wonder, is that discouraging to Davenport and Stratton because they could have been closing in on sending Fallon to the penalty box?
What do you think about this little tag team tandem right here, though?
I think it's bad for Fallon Henley.
No, it's all about winning. It's all about trying to get points. Seems like somebody would be trying to get a win here, a cover, get on the board, man.
Right now, maybe working together, and you can call it out again, Booker. It is 2-on-1, and Fallon's going to have to hang on for the next 2 minutes. Because in less than 2 minutes, the next superstar will come into this matchup. And almost on cue, Book.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. It's about winning.
To get back to the tippy top, she's going to have to stab some people in the back.
No.
And that's the MO.
No. She's going to have to step on some toes and keep on walking, Jack.
In 90 seconds, the next superstar will enter this matchup. Still, no decisions as of now here in this Women's Iron Survivor Challenge matchup. And
wow.
Almost had a little extra rotation.
Catapulted over the top rope right there. Tiffany Stratton about to take it to the tippy top, man.
So much strategy going into this matchup. Stratton realizing she could have an opportunity to earn a decision, and kick out by Henley. No, you got to also feel that you're going to be at a little bit of peace in this matchup if you're able to get that first decision. If you're able to go up 1-0 against the field.
No, Vic, you can't feel comfortable.
You wouldn't tell me if you were in this matchup, you'd breathe at least a small sigh of relief that you're on the scoreboard?
And to the last bell, I mean, to the clock run out, man, you cannot feel comfortable in a situation like this.
40 seconds, next superstar will enter the matchup. Tiffany Stratton, who entered third, has been in control of this matchup since she arrived. First, she teamed with Blair Davenport to take out Fallon Henley, and now she's taking them both out by herself. And take a look.
Talking about innovative.
Alabama slam cover. Davenport breaking things up, and Davenport here. Could she snake a victory? Could she snake a decision?
Not.
She got one. She's on the board.
That's what I'm talking about.
Davenport has scored a ball.
Exploit those mistakes. That's what Blair Davenport just did right there.
5 seconds, we see the next superstar. As soon as Fallon's feet hit the floor, the penalty box clock starts at 90.
Making her way to the ring, Kalani Jordan.
And I'm sure the butterflies are the size of eagles inside this former Michigan State Spartan.
Boom! You know what I say about those butterflies, Vic? You got to get them to line up and fly straight, and that's what Kalani Jordan is doing right now. I mean, she's a sensation, man.
There you see the penalty box. Fallon Henley now will be in there for 90 seconds. That
got
clock
called.
obviously started counting. It's inside the final 60. She can get a little bit of rest because Fallon Henley joined this match since the start. But the story now is Kalani Jordan looking to drop Tiffany Stratton. She did so into the cover, hook of the leg, and Davenport breaks up the cover. And you got to wonder, too, as this matchup has progressed throughout the week, a lot of these superstars who've been around a lot longer than Kalani Jordan have spoke out about Kalani Jordan. Is there a little bit of jealousy that she's already in this position? Looking for that moonsault, one of a kind connects. And Stratton breaks up the count.
Of course, there's got to be a little bit of jealousy there. I mean, Kalani Jordan in the game for about 6 months, and now she's in a position right now to become the Iron Survivor here tonight. Of course, there's some jealousy, but she's ready for this moment, I believe, as well.
You know, what do you contribute, though, to the fact that she's only debuted 6 months ago, Booker, and now she's on a premium live event, and she's, well, was in control up until a second ago.
You know, they talk about the tumbling background, but my daddy used to say something all the time. Creed, rise to the
90
top.
seconds is up.
Here we go.
And Henley
here we
is
go.
finally going to get her hands on Stratton, and you know she's a little extra angry, a little extra pent-up frustration after getting locked in that penalty box.
Coming out of the penalty box smoking. She's on fire right now, but just getting big shots in is not going to do. She needs to get a cover, Vic. She needs to get on the board. Some points, some numbers, man.
Fallon would love to earn points by beating Tiffany Stratton. Blockbuster.
Beautiful blockbuster.
Still don't know why Stratton was so upset with Henley dressing as her for Halloween. Still don't get why he'd upset. I mean, whoa, with Shining Wizard. Forget about Halloween.
No
Let's
way.
focus on
No
the
way.
here and the now. And yes, she did it.
Wow.
Fallon Henley has scored a ball.
Money. Money, man.
And Tiffany Stratton now heads to the penalty box. 90 seconds to see the clock on Tiffany Stratton counting down into the covers. Kalani Fallon able to kick out. There you see 12.5 minutes. And another cover, shoulders down one more time, another near fall. And when that clock hits 15, we'll have the next superstar in this matchup. And whoa.
Wow, look at the strength on this young lady right here, Kalani Jordan. She shows me something week in and week out.
Kalani said she wants to show the world that she is a force to be reckoned with. As you take a look at the scoreboard, one fall for Blair, one decision for Fallon. They're the only two who have scored any sort of pinfalls. And look at Kalani wisely turning around, keeping this one-on-one.
Hey, Kalani Jordan, I mean, she's definitely the underdog in this matchup, Vic. But I tell you, when I look at her, I see star written all over her, man.
That star could be shining brighter here in this Women's Iron Survivor Challenge matchup. Again, every 5 minutes, another superstar will enter, and we have seen Tiffany, who's in the penalty box. Kalani was the last superstar in. Blair Fallon started this off, so we know that the next and final superstar will be Metaphor's Lash Legend.
Yes, indeed. And we know about Lash Legend. We'll talk about that in a minute. Don't want to give away anything too soon. But right now, Fallon Henley is in total control.
And you see 5 seconds coming down. Tiffany Stratton is ready to pounce. Out of the penalty box with a point to prove. And look who Stratton goes right to. Fallon Henley, the woman who put her in the penalty box. And are these two just too focused on each other to see past one another and see the rest of the field?
That's a possibility, Vic. But I must say this, being in that penalty box gives you a little bit of extra time to suck it up and get ready to come out and do business like the penalty box.
Wait a minute, into the cover goes Stratton, and underneath the bottom rope, great job by the official. The count had to be broken, but here almost right in front of us to our left, you see Blair Davenport, you see Kalani Jordan, and you see the clock at almost 14.5 minutes. We are 30 seconds away from Lash Legend entering this matchup. Lash will be the freshest superstar entering the fray for the final 10 minutes of the match.
And I talked about that 5 spot, Vic, being able to come out and just let it all hang out. I'm talking about put the hammer down, man. I can't wait. How much time we got left? How much time we got left?
We got 15 seconds until Lash Legend will enter the matchup. And what's on the mind of Tiffany Stratton? Stratton left Fallon Henley to make her way over to Kalani Jordan as the clock ticking.
Representing Metaphor, Lash Legend.
Lash with the luck of the draw, and Lash quickly is going to make her power and an impression in this matchup.
Man!
Little 2 for 1, and look at Lash turning right around.
I'm telling you right now, Lash Legend with the right expert tutelage, she's gonna be a monster, man, a monster.
Well, think about this matchup. She's been trained by Heritage Cup champion Noam Dar, and it was a valid point that she made. So she can't do this.
Big,
2 for 1.
Not just Heritage Cup. 4-time Heritage Cup champion.
Not doing this with me tonight.
Dar.
As Legend now.
Shucky ducky quack quack. Here we go.
Choke slam on Stratton. And the game has changed with the arrival of Lash Legend.
Man, Lash Legend seems like she's tapped into something right there, and I like
Wait a minute,
it.
Lash
I like
Dragon.
it a lot.
Fallon
That's
shoulders down.
That's 2
Stratton
points.
shoulders down. Whoa!
That's 2 points.
That's what the official is saying.
Legend has scored 2 falls.
It took Lash Legend 70 seconds to earn 2 points.
Oh my God, man. I'm loving it. Lash Legend is looking like she's about to do it tonight, but a little trouble.
Blair Davenport jumping on the back. And Booker, you start to think about Lyra Valkyria, the NXT Women's Champion who said she was going to be here. What would be going through your mind if you were champion watching this unfold?
Oh, in a minute, Vic. I'll tell you that in a minute. We got to figure out what's going on here, man.
Well, right now we see a double sleeper center of the ring, but what would be going through your mind?
No, I mean, Lyra Valkyria, you got to understand, she's battle-tested, Vic. She beat the man, Becky Lynch. She's looking for competition. This is perfect for her. What are you talking about?
Well, what I see right now is Lash Legend in complete control of this matchup. I see Kalani Jordan trying to switch around her fortunes in this matchup, and I take a look just to my right, and I see 2 women in the penalty box for the first time, and it's Kalani Jordan up and over that gymnastics background.
Whoa!
Coming through, holy! Oh, and Davenport.
Wow.
Ever the opportunist.
My God,
And
man.
this sort of match certainly fits Blair Davenport's mentality, don't you think? Not caring about anybody.
She's like a black widow, Vic. She's looking to make sure when she strikes. When that,
Whoa,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Metaphor blocking the door from being open.
What a plan.
And Stratton and Henley, they don't like each other. They've been locked in this penalty box. I can only imagine what these two are about to do.
Wow.
Booker, you may need to get out of harm's way.
Trying to get out of harm's way.
Noam Dar out here screaming, and again, Lash Legend has had the opportunity to work with Dar, but what is Fallon doing? Fallon at the top, trying to escape this penalty box, because no! Oh my God! Stratton now! Booker, look up! Let the bodies hit the floor!
What the?
And look who's the superstar standing, Booker. It's Lash Legend. And Lash right now is in the driver's seat.
She
is up. She has 2 falls.
As well as she's fresh, Vic, coming out number 5. All she needs to do is get in here and get another number, get that double up. Oh, here we go.
Blair and Fallon each with 1, and to your point, Lash can rack up a couple more decisions off the splash. Davenport able to kick out. Lash quickly turning her attention. Bam! Over to Stratton. Another big splash. Another cover. Another kick out. As Booker, take a look at the clock. We're approaching the final 5 minutes.
Yes.
Kalani Jordan now might have to start risking it all. Jordan to the top. Coming off the top. It got caught by the powerful Lash Legend. And Lash now using Jordan as a weapon. And maybe looking for a power bomb.
Get this strip. Oh, crafty. That was crafty.
Kalani trying to block, trying to counter. Lash trying to hold her balance. In comes Stratton.
Wow.
Into the cover.
So close,
Fallon
Vic.
Henley breaking up the count.
Tiffany still not on the board yet. We only got 5 minutes left.
Tiffany is not. Blair Davenport is not either. But look at Davenport into the cover. And Blair Davenport just secured another decision.
Wow.
Blair Davenport has scored a fall.
Blair Davenport has now tied this matchup with Lash Legend at 2 decisions apiece. But take a look, Booker, because the clock is important. This match ends at 25 minutes. We have under 4.5 minutes left in this matchup. And Kalani now goes to the penalty box for 90 seconds. This is awesome. This is innovative. This is revolutionary. This is only the 2nd time ever we've had a women's Iron Survivor Challenge matchup. As the clock continuing to tick, Tiffany Stratton is in control with Blair Davenport and Fallon Henley working together for a moment until there's Lash Legend back into the match.
We'll tell you right now, if Blair or Lash Legend can just secure just 1 more point,
You
this
gotta
thing
be
could be
kidding me.
over. This thing
Booker,
could be over.
take a look at this. a little double dribble. Technically, that would be a quadruple dribble. And Lash just carrying around 2 women until Stratton.
Whoa, wait a minute, she's gonna pick. Wow.
Crucifix wise of Stratton to break up. Now she's into the cover, shoulders down, Lash back into the fray.
Can you believe, Vic, Tiffany Stratton has got 0 points on the board, and she's been in the matchup for quite some time.
Lonnie Jordan also has 0, and she's getting ready to exit the penalty box in 15 seconds. And I just took a look over to that penalty box.
Oh.
Jordan is focused.
She's ready.
Looking in the ring.
She's
jumping around, keeping herself psyched up. But there comes Lash Legend, who again made a valid point that she's been training with Noam Dar, a master of time constraint matches.
Vic, we're about 3 minutes left. We got about 3 minutes left.
The clock continuing to shrink, the sand dials of time wearing out in this match as Kalani now, she knows what she has to do. Kalani Jordan, 0 decision. Tiffany Stratton, 0 decision. What do you think's going through their mind right now? Because they know they got less than 3 minutes. And Lash Legend now is in the leaderboard, along with Blair Davenport, but for how much longer?
She just landed a big shot on Lash Legend right now, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
Nice job by Fallon. Fallon, by the way, is only 1 decision behind the leaders. She's got 1 decision. If she's able to knock this up, we'd have a 3-way tie at 2, but the superstar standing
Vic,
right now.
You just said it. You just said it a second ago. That sand in the hourglass, the clock is running out, man.
Bodies all around, and this is just the first Iron Survivor matchup of the night. We still have the men's coming. And now there you see from the top, high cross body into the cover. Stratton breaking up the count one more time.
Lonnie Jordan just can't get one up. Just so close, so close.
Ooh. Oh, this is it. Prettiest moonsault ever. Connected on Lash.
Man.
Cover. Stratton's on the board.
Tiffany Stratton has scored a ball.
Tiffany Stratton is on the board. This is important, book. Lash Legend, who is in the lead with 2, is in the penalty box. She's a non-factor for the next 90 seconds. Look how much time's left in the matchup. This match is over soon. Blair Davenport now has to survive. She's got to survive, but for Kalani Jordan, she's got to execute. She's down 2 falls, Booker. 2 falls.
Could this be it? Could this be it? High from the
450.
But God, man.
450, will it gain her 1? And Fallon Henley.
Get me.
And Fallon Henley right now in position to tie this at 2. And Davenport kicked out into another cover on Stratton, hooked on the leg, and another near fall. And Booker, we're getting into the final 60 seconds, looking for a submission. 60 seconds left. Lashed in the penalty box for 45 more seconds. Blair Davenport's trying to hold on. Fallon Henley trying to link in his submission. Kalani Jordan looking for her first fall here.
Vic,
if she gets a submission, she gets 3.
This is not it. She don't have enough time to try to pull something off like this. She needs to land a big shot.
45 seconds, Kalani now trying to get a big kick in, was able to knock down Davenport, looking for that one-of-a-kind split leg again. Davenport able to run interference. Clock continuing to tick, almost the final 30 seconds. Lash Legend now has 17 seconds. She's ready to get back into this matchup. Oh, nasty landing for Kalani.
Wow, that was gnarly, Vic. Wow.
Blair Davenport with 2, looking for 1 more decision. She's into the cover, hook of the leg, and with 15 seconds to go, Blair just took the lead. Penalty box is over. Lash Legend is out. There's only 10 seconds. Blair Davenport's got to survive. She's running Lash. Trying to catch up. Lash down to fall. 5 seconds, down to 3.
Here is your winner and Iron Survivor, Blair Davenport.
Booker, you're sweating.
Yeah, what a match.
All 5 of these superstars went toe-to-toe and left it all in the ring. And at the end of 25 minutes, it's the Wicked Witch of NXT, who is this year's Iron Survivor. Here's where Blair Davenport was able to get on the board. Tiffany Stratton did the work. Blair Davenport reaped the rewards. She was able to get her first fall, taking out Fallon Henley. But then as this matchup would go on, Tiffany Stratton went from the tippy top of the penalty box to wipe out the field. Take another look. This was after she threw Fallon Henley from the top of the box through our announce table. She was able to risk it all. So was Kalani Jordan, the young upstart who is looking to make an impact. She certainly opened some eyes here tonight, but for Kalani, she was not able to get a decision in that moment as this matchup would continue in the closing minutes. Lash Legend was in the penalty box. Lash Legend was tied with Blair Davenport at 2 falls. Blair knew that as time was winding down, bam, she was gonna have to earn a fall to win this thing, and with 15 seconds remaining, was able to get the third and what would be the deciding fall for our new Women's Iron Survivor.
I am your Iron Survivor. Lyra Valkyria, that clock is ticking, and I will be seeing you at New Year's Evil.
We knew she was here, and the NXT Women's Champion making her presence known, because on the first NXT of 2024, the NXT Women's title will be defended at New Year's Eve. What the hell?
Whoa! Hold the phone, Vic.
Cora Jade, the resident mean girl of NXT, is back.
It just got busy up in here.
And Cora Jade picking up where she left off.
Yeah. Hey, big night for you boys tonight. How you feeling, man?
I'm locked in. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all be locked in, man. This Iron Survivor Challenge, I'm telling you, it's no joke. It's timing, it's execution, it's all of that, man. Look, I'm hyped for you. You got this in the bag, bro. Yep. You just make sure you take care of business tonight with Lexis King.
Man, you already know. He tried to frame me. He tried to come in between Trick Mello gang. I'm not holding back on him. He's gonna get his.
My way, my life.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, Lexis King!
Well, now is the time, if you're Carmelo Hayes, to silence some doubters. Because there have been a lot of people pointing fingers. I'll raise my hand, Booker, as one of those at Carmelo Hayes for weeks. But since Lexis King has arrived, he has proven to be the living definition of an instigator.
And his opponent, Carmelo Hayes!
And to that point, I want to talk about Carmelo Hayes here, Book, because I don't think anyone can argue he's been distracted over the last few months, and rightfully so.
Distracted, of course. Yeah, he's taking his eye off the ball, and it's because of this one man, Lexis King. Unexpected entry, man. And I must say, you got to deal with a man like Lexis King one-on-one. It got to become personal, dog. I like it. Money green right there. Look at the money green tights right there. Oh, yes, I like those.
You bring up the green. That also, though, is a very mellow and mild entrance for Melo's
Not the same, because this is a serious night. There's no time for playing, no time for jiving around, Vic. You got to take care of business. Take care of this new kid on the block, Lexis King.
Hayes got this matchup made on Tuesday because, and this is his words, he has something to prove. And in order for Hayes to clear his name He essentially has to beat an apology out of Lexis King.
But right now, I don't like the attitude. Carmelo seems to be a little discombobulated, maybe thinking in the wrong places.
Carmelo Hayes does not want a handshake. He does not want anyone thinking that there's even some sort of working together. I mean, that's the thing, is every time we hear from Lexis King, he's always like, oh, me and Carmelo on the same page. Hey, yeah, that's right, you and me. And Carmelo Hayes is tired of it.
Let's just say, Lexis King, he stepped in and he's stirring the pot, Vic. He's created a little kerfuffle between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
So I want to bring back what I originally said about
What?
Lexis
Wow,
King.
wow.
Oh, and what a right hand from Lexis King, and Carmelo Hayes having none of it. And Hayes taking down King, quickly throwing hands, as you would say.
No, I always talk about Carmelo Hayes. He's going to have to graduate to just thinking about fighting, wrestling. Sometimes you just got to throw it out of the window, man.
But did you see Lexis King? He started laughing. After he frustrated Carmelo, he took himself a little walk, took himself a little jog. Carmelo turned his back. King trying to take advantage, but Hayes saw that coming, saw that movie 2 days ago, and he's right back in, going right at King. You got to imagine, too, now, Booker, it's got to hurt Carmelo Hayes. It has to hurt that he's doubted by his best friend, Trick Williams. It has to hurt that he hears the NXT Universe this past Tuesday chanting guilty, guilty at the top of their lungs.
Yeah, and you got to understand, Carmelo Hayes always been loved by the NXT Universe, and here now, of course, it stings a little bit, but you can't let that stray you from the mission, Vic. You can't do that.
One also has to wonder how Hayes feels about Trick being in the Iron Survivor Challenge, and he slides to the outside, able to sidestep, and look, Carmelo Hayes has been in control of this match because he is focused on another level here tonight, because this isn't, I wouldn't say professional, it's personal, but how about that, Book? And now, look at Carmelo Hayes. Focusing on that right hand. Did you hear that hand ricochet and bounce off that steel post? Oh, come on, Carmelo. Carmelo, he's not going to pull any punches tonight. Carmelo Hayes probably want to break Lexis King's hand.
This is a different Carmelo right here. And like I say, I don't like this Melo. He doesn't seem to be comfortable. Doesn't seem to be just flowing. It seems to be fighting out of anger. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, Vic.
Well, these chops certainly have a lot of anger behind them, and Lexis King now almost has his back against the wall. There's a bullseye put on those 5 phalanges on his right hand, and look at Hayes up and over, lands on his feet. Nice step up in Seguri. And I'll have to wonder, too, when it comes to Carmelo Hayes, how do you get back on track? We've never seen Melo sidetrack. And oh, no! And oh, hey, landing on his feet.
Oh, wait a minute.
Lexis King, though, taken to the air.
Talking about getting back on track, he's not gonna do it that way. But to your point, Carmelo needs to just go back to what got him to the dance, man, as well as think about his friendship with one Trick Williams. I mean, those guys did it together. Trick Mello games. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know, and you can see now the anguish on the face of Hayes. As Lexis King soaking up the jeers of the NXT Universe here in the Total Mortgage Arena in Bridgeport, Connecticut, shoots the half into the cover. What a victory this would be. Able to not only beat former NXT champion, this also is the premium live event debut for Lexis King.
And he's doing a hell of a job, Vic, to get a win. Perhaps if he can get a win over Carmelo Hayes, I'm going to tell you, the sky's the limit for Lexis King.
King right back in, and oof, a little combination offense now. Seems that the hand was the focus for Carmelo Hayes, but the back is the bullseye for King into another cover and another kick out from Carmelo Hayes.
I must say, Vic, I'm very impressed with Lexis King tonight.
Well, that's interesting because you have talked about, and let's just be honest, talked about not liking King's biological father. You talked about it on NXT, but do you see some of the same characteristic downfalls in Lexis King?
I wouldn't call them downfalls at all, but I do see a lot of traits from this man, Lexis King, and one, you know, the late Brian Pillman. But this guy right here, Vic, it's the little bitty things. It's the in-between things.
Nice.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Again, some combination offense for King. King in his premium live event debut into the cover and a near fall on Carmelo Hayes. And when it comes to Lexis King, some have also said flat out, This is a man who is addicted to drama.
No. You can call him a drama king. I like it, huh? How you like that?
I walked you into that one. But in all seriousness, what he's done between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, the things he has said to Briggs and Jensen. I mean, when I said it earlier, he's a living definition of an instigator. That's what he is.
No, can I say this?
I'm not going to stop you. You're bigger than I am.
No, a lot of people are saying Carmelo Hayes may have a little bit of responsibility.
Vicious blow into the back, looking for
man.
another near fall, and it's getting closer and closer, Book.
Back to my point, a lot of people saying Carmelo Hayes might have a little bit to do with the people saying that he's guilty, because a lot of people say that Carmelo did not back the play of Trick Williams wanting to go out on his own. That could be it. I've seen it happen before.
I see what you're saying, and that's part of what Carmelo Hayes has been talking about, why he wants to get back into this. When you think about Lexis King, who now is trying to negotiate a submission single leg crab.
He's got it locked in, too, man.
And the knee was up, creating a little bit for Carmelo Hayes, a little bit of an opening to get to that bottom rope, take some of that pressure off the back, which went into those steel steps earlier, and Hayes able to break through for just a moment here. But when we talk about Lexis King, he has put doubt into people's mind that he and Hayes are connected. There's no doubt about that.
The thing is, Vic, do we actually really know that he's not connected? Do we know that? Come on, man. We've been seeing what's going on in politics. You never know.
Well, King's post on X raised eyebrows when he said that he and Melo were on the same page.
Wow.
But that's the second consecutive backbreaker by King, who has slowed this match down,
Vic,
and one would believe this would be the pace King wants.
Vic, I'm always scouting talent around the world all the time, and this kid, Lexis King, he definitely has something. He has that it factor. Can he get a big win over that man? Oh, beautiful switch. Beautiful.
Covering a quick kick out by King, who just turned Hayes inside out. And now you have to think for Carmelo Hayes. He came out firing on what, a handshake?
No.
I want you to shake my hand.
Didn't work at the start.
Show everybody in this building the snake that you are.
Oh. And look at Hayes. Hayes is not working. You asked earlier, how do we know? We just found out, Booker.
No, that tells me something right there. I don't know. Look like, I'm not going to speculate, but Carmelo Hayes could be on the take. I'm just saying. I
don't know where you get. I know you don't ever want to be wrong. I understand you're still trying to sidetrack, but you got to call it what we see tonight. And it's Carmelo Hayes fighting for his innocence. It's Carmelo Hayes fighting to prove to Trick Williams in the NXT universe he's not in cahoots.
Did you just see what I saw?
I did. Holy cow!
Wow. Bad spill.
Booker, I'm more worried for Carmelo Hayes, who came down with all his weight on that left leg. Take another look at this replay. Hayes landed on that hip, that left hip. Those superstars trying to get back up. They do beat the count. But we have seen a lot here tonight. And after what we just saw in that Women's Iron Survivor matchup, and now we're seeing this here right now. I mean, Carmelo Hayes, now his back and his hip, got to have bullseyes on him.
Not only that, he's been taken to the woodshed by Lexis King. I mean, if this thing ended on points right now, I give it to Lexis King.
Well, Lexis King, who comes off crazy like a fox, is now trying to fight back against Carmelo Hayes. Hayes, though, has been in deep waters before. He's trying to continue to swim, and he just planted King. And Carmelo Hayes getting that second, that third wind in this matchup, sailing through the air. I passed him in the halls today, Book. Body language didn't see the same, but this looks to be the Carmelo Hayes that we're used to seeing. Rolling right through, Hayes coming right back in, charging, goes up, goes around, and face first goes King. Trying to capitalize is Hayes, center of the ring, and King getting the left shoulder off the mat. Carmelo Hayes now looking around at what he needs to do in this matchup. So much emotion built up in Hayes.
I'm looking in the eyes of Carmelo Hayes, and this night tonight here at Deadline, he's more unsure than I've ever seen him before. Trust me. It's a different look in Carmelo's eyes.
Hayes trying to block. King trying to block. Those superstars jockeying for position. Then it's King with a jackhammer who overpowers Hayes, and it's not enough to keep the former NXT champion down.
Are you impressed?
For 3.
Are you impressed?
I've never not been impressed by King.
Oh, all right, give me some.
I've never not been impressed. I've always questioned the motive. So to bring it up since we're on the top, you're a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. What's King's end game? Because he keeps playing games.
No, I mean, Lexis King, he's about the legacy. He's about trying to make history in this business. And
His own.
It starts right here in NXT.
NXT Universe trying their best to get behind Hayes. Hayes counters and just ripped down.
Oh, did you see that? You see that?
Saw those 2 feet to the face, and I see Hayes answering right back with a strike of his own.
Now, what I see is Carmelo getting a little desperate right there, Vic.
And a third backbreaker, but King didn't get all of it and then got caught by Hayes. King turning right around. Hayes now trying to climb. Hayes trying to capitalize on this matchup in this moment. Almost slipped, got his feet back, and there it is. Nothing but net.
He got it. Wow.
Here is your winner, Carmelo Hayes.
This is a man who has won every single title that this brand has to offer. But this might be the most personally satisfying victory of his career, hitting nothing but net and gaining a huge victory here tonight. Because now, Booker, Hayes has silenced the doubters to prove his innocence to the universe, to Trick Williams, to all those here in NXT.
Melo! That was one hell of a match. But I'm gonna make something a lot easier on you. It wasn't me who attacked Trick Williams. But thank you for that PLE spotlight, my friend.
Poor Jade. Yeah, I know. Welcome back, right? Thanks, Kelly. I know a lot of women in that locker room are definitely shocked to see me back because they damn sure were not ready to welcome me back. But, I mean, I gave them 4 months off. And now I've returned to the deepest division in all of WWE, the NXT Women's Division. And now that I'm back, I'm gonna take this place to a whole new level. And I think I've made my intentions crystal clear. And I'm sure you want to know my next move, don't you, Kelly? Yeah. See you Tuesday.
Hey, bro. Look, man. I owe you an apology. I never should have let that dude get in between us.
Hey, man, it's cool. It's all good. For real.
Wait. So we good?
Yeah, we good.
Good, man. Because you whooped his ass tonight, man. Now, look, bro. I'm trying to be on the same time tonight, man. The Iron Survivor Challenge, it is my time. It's Trick Willie's night tonight, baby.
You know what to do, man.
What's that?
Whoop that trick.
I like it. Hey, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Handle that. Yeah.
The following contest is the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge! There is a 25-minute time limit with 5 superstars competing to become the #1 contender. 2 superstars will start the match. Every 5 minutes thereafter, a new superstar will enter until all competitors are in the ring. Falls can be won at any time via pinfall, submission, or disqualification. When a superstar scores a fall, they will earn 1 point. When a superstar loses a fall, that superstar is forced out of the ring and into a penalty box for 90 seconds before he can re-enter the match. the superstar who has scored the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes will be named the Iron Survivor and challenge for the NXT Championship at New Year's Evil! Introducing first, Dijak!
Certainly have to believe Dijak is going to feel right at home among the mayhem of this matchup.
Said the optimal word there, mayhem. You forgot one of them, though.
What's that?
Destruction. Oh, yes, man.
Are we feasting our eyes on the Iron Survivor? Be interesting to see who draws number 2. Right on cue.
Next, Josh Briggs!
Be real with me. I don't want a catchphrase here. Be real. Is Briggs being overlooked?
You know, of course, he may be being overlooked, but he's one of those guys. I want you to do me a favor. Ask me what I think about Josh Briggs.
I'm not doing this. We've done this enough. What do you think about Josh Briggs?
He's a big guy.
What do you think about Dijak?
No, he's a big guy.
What do you think about Braun Breaker?
He's a big guy. That's my point. In case big, that's a lot of beef.
What do you think about Tyler Bate?
He's a big, strong boy.
Well, we're starting off with these two, and look, we saw a lot of chaos in that women's Iron Survivor matchup. These two will go at it for the first 5 minutes. There you see the scoreboard on the bottom. We talked about it earlier, almost picking up the first fall. It was Briggs, and it certainly was a close one. After thinking about what you had been mentioning in that first matchup, how would you strategize for the time factor? Lash Legend got caught because of that penalty box. She got out of the penalty box down 1 with 15 seconds left.
Not just that, Lash Legend came out number 5, and she put herself in the best position to come out the victorious Iron Survivor. It didn't work out for her, but I feel the same way in this matchup. Whoever comes out last, number 5 has the best chance. Big guys working right now. A lot of action by these two big guys.
And I want to talk about Josh Briggs again here just for a moment, because you can speak on this better than me. For Briggs to get an endorsement by someone like JBL, that's a big deal.
No, I feel the same way. I mean, JBL is a guy who perhaps sees a lot of similarities in himself and Josh Briggs. I went on the road with JBL, a young JBL.
Unreal.
And I'm going to tell you, couldn't have a better partner.
I don't know if JBL can land on his feet and do some of the things that Briggs and Dijak are pulling out right now.
They're just showing out right now, Vic. I think that's what that is. Trying to one-up each other.
And I was getting ready to talk about Dijak feeling even more at home and extra motivated to send some to the penalty box, trying to serve up his brand of hard justice, which again, that penalty box will come into play. 90 seconds if you suffer a defeat. And the clock starts as soon as your feet hit the floor. And I just want to go over this one more time. When you think about NXT, this is an innovative concept here on this brand.
History-making match right here, and I tell you, no one would
That's
be
a
happier.
decleater. Will it be the first decision? Kick out.
Almost a pounce-like big tackle there by Josh Briggs. But like I was saying, this is a history-making moment. This is a life-changing matchup right here in this Iron Survivors Challenge, Vic.
For Briggs, maybe a little bit hard to focus. He can't be looking back, though, at what happened to Fallon Henley earlier night. And internally, it may be hard for him to break away from his tag team partner, Brooks Jensen, even if for this one opportunity. But as a former tag team competitor in your own right, you know you need to take that opportunity.
I like that. I mean, Josh Briggs right now, he's out here. He's out here all on his own. But that's when you
Another
focus.
cover, another kick out.
that's when you really put yourself in that zone because, like I say, this moment could be the biggest moment of big Josh Briggs' career.
Briggs been in control. These starting out 1 and 2. Interesting to see how 3, 4, and 5 will play out. All those superstars randomly selected, as you see the clock in your bottom left corner closely getting to 3 minutes, so we're 2 minutes away roughly from the third superstar entering this matchup. The winner will become the #1 contender, will face the NXT champion on the first edition of NXT in the new year on New Year's Evil. And Dijak quickly turning things around in the moment. But again, time becomes factor. And you've talked about those slight moments in that women's Iron Survivor matchup that just take it an extra breath and not going for a pin, not trying to get a decision, could play a huge factor. Maybe not in minute 10, but certainly in minute 24.
Yes, indeed. And as well as, you know, I talked about talked about how much it's going to take out of these men early in the matchup because there again, no sweat on the body. It's going to be a lot harder to get a cover here early in this matchup.
We have to remember, too, for Blair Davenport, she won from the first position here tonight from starting. Will the same fate be at the hands of one of these two? And Dijak right now, Jomo, I would have thought he had the first decision in the matchup, and he would have had a 60-second rest. Feel this impact. Just see Josh Briggs' body bounce. And I got to point out something, too, about Dijak. He's showcasing some hellish strength right now.
No, that was a lot of power used.
Ooh, big boot, Dijak's down. Big boot, is this enough?
No, this goes back to my point, Vic. It's going to be so hard to get a cover when these guys are fresh right now. The adrenaline is flowing through the body. You're not going to kick out it. You're not going to get a cover here this early in the matchup. It's just not going to happen.
You know, I bring it up to you because in 30 seconds we're going to get Superstar 3, but are these two exerting too much energy here early in the matchup that they're going to be out of gas? You talk about big guys. Big guys don't typically last 25 minutes.
I agree. I go back to the suplex there a minute ago. Just jousting for position going to take so much out of you, Vic, in a matchup like this.
Another elbow by Briggs, a little bit of separation, 10 seconds away. Who is the third superstar to enter this matchup? Is Dijak looking for feast your eyes, connects, falls into the cover. This could be huge for Dijak, who gets the pin. So listen to this. Briggs is going to go to the penalty box, and it's going to be one-on-one now for Dijak and Tyler Bate. And you know the big, strong boy has his eyes locked
Tyler Bate
on Dijak.
Yeah, but you got to think about the size difference in a matchup like this. Dijak has all the advantages in this matchup, and he got a lot of time to get another pinfall.
But what about this advantage for Tyler Bate? He's got one-on-one for the next just over 60 seconds. Dijak's not at 100%. That was a big first 5 minutes of this matchup, as we were just talking about. And for Bate, he can capitalize. Big knee lift.
He can capitalize, man. I mean, he's not the big, strong boy for nothing, but he's going to have to pull out a big, big missile to put this big man down, Vic.
A very golden past for Tyler Bate, but he's had a tough time recapturing that success of his early part of his career. Can he do it tonight?
Exactly what I'm talking about right there, going for that exploder suplex, but the big man Dijak just too big and just too strong for the big, strong boy.
Made the most of his last chance on Tuesday. Universe Online, though, is viewing him as the underdog. But he just turned around Dijak, and Bates got this singles one-on-one with Dijak for the next 30 seconds into the cover to get a decision. Dijak kicking out as that clock now approaching 20 seconds until Briggs will be back into this matchup. And Briggs right now, I just looked up over your shoulder. Briggs is taking in big breaths right now, trying to get back into the match, trying to recapture, refocus himself, so to speak.
Vic, that's what you want to think about when you're in that penalty box. You want to suck it up, try to get all the wind back in the lungs because you want to come out. You want to come out as strong as you possibly can.
They told me tonight he wants to remind people of who the big, strong boy is. But right now, and look at Briggs. Briggs didn't hit Bate. Briggs just cleaned the clock of Dijak. And this might be a little bit personal now for Briggs, who's looking to clean the clock of Dijak.
Good
JBLS clothesline for the first decision for Briggs.
Josh Briggs has scored a fall.
And how wise is this? Briggs went right to the outside, and he's picking up Bate. He's picking Bate apart. He's not letting anyone get any breath.
I love what this big man is doing right now. Just use that penalty box as a weapon, and that's what you got to do, Vic. You can't be thinking about nothing but winning in a matchup like this.
You used the word earlier, it was destruction. That could be on the mind of Briggs, and there comes Bate. throwing his body around. What did you say he needed to throw a missile earlier? Bate right now using his body.
He need to drop the bomb is what he need to do, man.
60 seconds left for Dijak, and then, ooh, getting caught was Briggs. Bate looking to make him pay. Another uppercut.
Man.
Right under the jaw. And now can Bate tie this? Can we have 3 superstars with 1 decision, and Briggs able to kick out? So now Dijak in the penalty box for 40 more seconds. Again, I just peered over. I don't even see Dijak. I don't think he's gotten to his feet. Bam! In that penalty box, and Briggs had to be helped to his feet from Tyler Bate.
There again, my point. I mean, Tyler Bates, he's going to be dealing with giants in this matchup, and he's going to have to throw everything in but the kitchen sink to get a victory here, Vic.
And there you see Dijak, who's in that penalty box for 15 more seconds.
Oh,
and Bate
that's
could be
it.
joining him. Off the splash, and Bate didn't have a lot on that kick out. Again, when you get a decision, you earn a point. If you're factored in the decision on the losing end like Dijak was, you go to the penalty box. Clock starts when your feet hit the floor, but the clock is at 0, and Dijak back into this matchup.
Yeah, it wasn't just a kick out. I think it was the hard cover there by Josh.
Tyler Driver 97. Tyler Driver 97. Got him up. Got him over. Wow. The cover. Oh, and Dijak just able to get back into the ring from the penalty box for Feaster. Nope. And from behind, Bate. Oh, Dijak's heading back into the penalty box.
Tyler Bate has scored a ball.
Wait a minute. The big right hand. Bate fell into the cover. Come on, ref. Wow. Bate almost was able to pick up another decision, and Dijak would have had only himself to blame, but look at the scoreboard. We're 30 seconds away from Superstar 4 entering the matchup, but 3 superstars Booker already with 1 decision.
Tyler Bate should have had another cover right there. The referee was just out of position.
He did have the cover.
No, he should have got a
Gotcha. Just caught up in the moment, Book, because Tyler Bate now trying to prove everyone wrong, trying to put to sleep Briggs. Can he get Briggs down? 15 seconds, less than that, excuse me, until the next superstar enters the matchup. Dijak's on ice for the next 50.
Hanging on for dear life, but just too much beef.
Ooh.
Too much beef there by Big Josh.
Who is it?
Making his way to the ring, Trick
Yeah. I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
Caught in Williams.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
NXT Universe on their feet for Williams. Trick Williams is money wrapped in a 6'5" frame.
Oh, camouflage. I mean, 6'5" by 240, carved out of granite. Oh, yes.
I don't even know if Dijak wanted to get out that quickly because he might pay for what just happened. Look at Trick Williams. He came in with a plan and just got punched in the face. I guess plans change when you get punched right in the mouth. Excuse me, turn that back around and, little catapult. Trick had a little advantage. Williams standing tall, and a double neck breaker. Wasn't pretty, was effective. Looking for 2. Looking for 2. Able to power out, and Trick almost got
too much muscle, Vic.
Trick almost got 2 for 1 there. Another big right hand to the big strong boy.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He's feeling it, Vic.
And since he came out with everything going on, do you believe Trick is more focused than ever in this match?
No, Trick knows. He told his partner Carmelo Hayes, "You're gonna open the show, and tonight I'm closing it."
What?
Wow!
Oh, Bate just saw another decision get put up on the board. Take another look. Again, Trick Williams using Briggs. These are the superstars that embody what NXT is all about. What you get every single Tuesday on USA. And Tyler Bate showing you the power. Round and round they go. Trick Williams stopped that, however. And Williams now, round and round they go. Where does it stop? Only Trick Willie knows. I'm just gonna stop because apparently I don't know a thing.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go, Vic.
Unbelievable strength by Bate, who's looking to take the lead to earn his second decision in both Briggs and Dijak, sensing that. And I want to bring this up to you, Booker, because we've been talking strategy through the women's and now the men's Iron Survivor. Would you switch up strategies right now? Because after what you just saw from Tyler Bate, everything he's putting his body through, but the scoreboard.
No.
3 at 1 fall.
You got to adjust, Vic. You got to adjust, because I look at Josh Briggs, I look at Dijak, I look at Trick Williams, but then I look at Tyler Bate, and I must say, pound for pound, Tyler Bate may be the strongest man in this ring right here.
I was about to ask, are these two going to try to get on the same page? But it's Bate who flies through to wipe out Briggs. Williams just got taken down by Dijak, who's up tall and now just got sidestepped right into the steps. Tyler Bate's up. Tyler Bate with 1 decision. He'd love to get a second. He'd love to take the lead into the final 10 minutes. Big clothesline. Is that going to be enough?
I don't know, Vic. I don't know.
Might need a little bit more, and it could come at the expense of a Tyler Driver 97.
Beautiful combination.
And Bate is in the lead.
Wow.
Williams to the penalty box.
Has scored a fall.
I'm going to tell you, I'm surprised right now. I'm totally surprised that Tyler Bate is on top of this mix-up right now.
He's looking to make the most of that last chance, but look at the clock in the bottom left as Briggs goes into the cover and able to kick out his Bate. Bate, who's in the lead, is in the lead with 2. Trick Williams is in the penalty box for the next minute and change, but in 40 seconds, the final superstar will enter the matchup. We know who that final superstar is. It's the former NXT champion, Bron Breakker.
Oh, yes, I love me some Bron Breakker. Can't wait for him to get into this matchup. But right now, Tyler Bate is fighting, Vic.
And Trick Williams is trying to recover. And this is what we kind of were alluding to a little bit earlier, where someone can use that penalty box to their advantage.
No, not, maybe. You got to use that penalty box as an advantage. You got to suck it up, and you got to get ready to do battle, because that's what this thing's about.
Did you look at Briggs? Briggs right now looked up at the clock because he realizes it's at 15 minutes.
Making his way to the ring, Bron Breakker!
Well, Bron Breakker shot right out and hit a spear just like that. Bron Breakker changed the game.
No bread, no water, just me.
Not gonna work. Second spear. He's breaking everyone in half. There is no one in this match can stand toe-to-toe with the badass.
Bron said nobody in this matchup can stand with him toe-to-toe, man-to-man. Right now, had 3 points, and on top of the point,
has scored the last 3 falls.
And he did it in 40 seconds as Trick Williams now looks on. Trick doesn't have a decision. His back's against the wall. 3 superstars in the penalty box. And it's down to Trick, it's down to Bron for this moment, for the next minute. Trick Williams is gonna have to make the most of it. Bron Breakker came out like a house of fire. We always talk about speed. If you had your stopwatch ready, Bron Breakker looked like Tyreek Hill in that ring, swinging for the fences. Swinging a miss though by Trick. Bron picking up speed, and again, sudden impact.
You don't want to see this young man, Bron Breakker, on the move like that, Vic. That could be trouble for you, man. Trust me on that.
Jerry the King Lawler said if Bron got in, Bron was his pick to win. And now looking to sit back and recline. And no one can help Trick Williams. He's got to hold for at least 13 seconds. Whoa, Booker, over to your right. Wait a minute. I'm trying to watch what's going on in the ring.
What the hell's going on?
Williams is trying to hold on.
What the hell's going on?
The penalty box is almost getting destroyed by these guys. Finally, the clock is out. Briggs is the one who is free. The door is open, though, and all bodies are spilling out.
God.
Oh, I don't feel very good for that official right now, who's got to get 2 of them back in the penalty box. Bron was looking for some. Wait a minute, Bron! Able to roll out of harm's way.
That was smart by Bron Breakker, having that lead, trying to hold on to it.
But all penalties have officially expired. The clock now, the next number of note is 25. Whoever has the most decisions at 25 minutes is the Iron Survivor. Bron Breakker is in the lead. Trick Williams is in the air.
Let it fly. Let it fly. Wow.
Trick Williams trying to prove to be that man. And Braun trying to hold on. Briggs trying to fight back in. Briggs is down 2 falls. Behind 2
shot,
falls.
big shot.
So is Dijak.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Dijak
whoa, whoa, whoa,
to the cover.
whoa, whoa.
The boot of Dijak. Oh, wow.
Dijak has scored a fall.
18-minute mark. Trick Williams is headed back to the penalty box for 90 seconds. Dijak, while laughing, is still 1 fall behind Braun Breaker. But Dijak's the one standing.
Trick Williams still no points on the board, Vic.
And you just felt the air come out of the NXT universe with that last decision. Whoa! Frankensteiner! Into the Tyler Driver! Oh yeah, Bate! Wow!
Tyler Bate has scored a fall.
Braun doesn't get any bonus points. That was Braun Breaker's Frankensteiner right into the Tyler Driver. And Bate just evened this at 3. Dijak to the penalty box. He's in for over a minute. Trick's got 45 seconds left.
Tyler Bate is taking advantage of all those mistakes that I was talking about. Taking advantage of all those doors.
Gutbuster.
Oh, man.
Well, that might have been a mistake by Bate. Braun into another cover, big strong boy. Able to kick out Dijak with less than 60 seconds to go. Trick Williams with less than 30 seconds to go. But we have just under 6 minutes left in this matchup. And you can see all the decisions. The leaderboard is filled. Sitting atop it are the 2 men right now in the ring. Braun Breaker, Tyler Bate tied, 3 decisions apiece.
Tyler Bate just kicked out of that big shot right that he just took. But the leg strength of Tyler Bate, he's got big calves, he's got big thighs, and it's working for him here tonight.
Well, coming out of the box is going to be Trick Williams. Oh! Williams with the door. Oh! Back into the ring.
What the?
Braun Breaker from the top into the cover. Briggs wisely able to break that up. And look, Grayson Waller won last year. We saw his stock skyrocket into the cover now on SmackDown. We know what this matchup can do. Not just about becoming the #1 contender, which, by the way, the NXT title will be defended at New Year's Evil, the first NXT of the new year, by whomever walks out as NXT champion against the Iron Survivor. Whoever wins this match, all 5 men back into the matchup with less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, with less than 5 minutes, and right now Tyler Bate has 3 points. Braun Breaker has 3 points. Who's gonna pull this thing off? Wow!
Oh, wait a minute. This isn't good for Bate. Double choke slam.
Man, came down hard.
And the same 2 that started this are the same 2 that are looking eye to eye and seem to have some sort of agreement. When 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, they were smashing each other's heads inside the penalty box. They're standing tall.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Vic. What the hell?
I mean, it behooves them to work together because they're both behind. They both need the decisions. Dijak gets 1. He ties it at 3. Double moonsault. Double cover. Double pin. Double decision.
Dijak and Josh Briggs have scored a fall.
But Booker, look at the time right now. Huge decision for Dijak because it's tied at 3 with Breaker and Bate. And Breaker now goes to the penalty box, but again with Trick Williams for 90 seconds. Here's Tyler Bate now. Bate with another decision. Would be the leader in the clubhouse. Goes to the top. Tornado DDT
Big
with
shot.
a little extra.
Big shot landed, but smart by Dijak again to make an escape.
Got to the outside. Here comes Bate. And I think Briggs actually pushed Dijak into harm's way. So he can take advantage. Because Briggs knows with 1 more decision, he's tied this thing, and then it's a 4-way tie at 3.
Josh Briggs just clean Tyler Bates' clock, and right now he's going for it. He's going for that kill shot off the top rope.
Dijak, super kick under the jaw. Dijak now looking to take the leaderboard because right now, with under 3 minutes to go, these superstars are battling each other. They're also battling the clock. And Tyler Bate now battling Dijak and Briggs! All superstars that are in this matchup are down. The other 2 are in the penalty box for exactly the same amount of time.
Talking about the great escape. Wow.
Take a look at the NXT universe that has filed in to NXT Deadline. I just looked over Trick Williams now trying to get out of the door as quick as he could, and here he comes. And Braun Breaker now, turning things around in a hurry.
Bate needs to try to get up, Vic. He needs to move. And right now, Trick Williams.
Oh!
Wow! Good night, Trick Williams.
Wait a minute, Dijak! Braun is down, Dijak's down, Trick's down, Bate is standing. Briggs is on his feet as well. We're under 90 seconds. NXT Universe trying to rally these two supers. How the hell is Dijak on his feet? Looking for Feast his eyes one more time. Booker, look at the clock though, under 90 seconds. Bate just got taken out. Roll up is Trick Williams, and Trick right now. Trick got a fall. Trick got a fall. Also a super kick. Second super kick from Dijak.
Vic, but
Trick
time,
Williams has scored a fall.
time is running out, Vic. Time is running out quickly.
I haven't even seen Braun Breaker move. As Dijak all the way to the top. Oh, just drop Trick. Feast your eyes.
Yeah.
Under 60 seconds. Eddie Thorpe? Where the hell Thorpe come from? No love lost between Thorpe, who's staring a hole into Dijak. And Dijak might be paying for his past. Just got kicked. Whoa, Trick!
Oh, Trick is in the game.
Bate from the top.
Oh, Trick's out of the game.
Bate from the top. Trick just got a second fall. Bate looking for that. No, counter. Trick, roll through. You gotta be kidding me.
What? I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
Superstars go to the penalty box. We're tied at 3. There's 10 seconds. There's 10 seconds, Book. Spear didn't connect. Big knee. Oh, my God. He did it. How the hell?
And the Iron Survivor, Trick Williams.
Wow. Yeah. I like it. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, Vic, you gotta love it, man.
Buck,
Yeah.
we gave Trick Williams no chance.
I
No
like it.
freaking chance.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man.
I can't believe what we just witnessed.
Vic, look at the people.
I'm going to try to get back to some of this matchup. Because when Breaker entered this matchup,
like it.
it was a quick
Oh, yeah,
1, 2, 3. And I don't mean 1, 2, 3 by the count. I mean 1, 2, 3 decision for Braun Breaker, who changed the game as fast as he entered the matchup in less than 60 seconds. And you know what? Just bang! One for good measure. Those were the 3 falls. And Braun Breaker was in the driver's seat for this matchup. Trick Williams laid it all on the line. You brought up the point. Trick Williams had no points. Trick Williams was just trying to get back into this matchup. But Trick kept finding his way into the penalty box right here for 90 seconds. Double moonsaults by superstars who shouldn't be doing moonsaults. Their size, that athleticism, it's unheard of. But they both got 2 points, which would send Braun and Trick to the box. And when they came out, bam, it was an explosion. And here, Book, you said no chance. He's out of it. And we started looking around, and bodies were falling. First it was Braun, who went through the table. And then as we started to look around, and the clock was ticking, Trick Williams picked up a couple of falls, but in the final 10 seconds, down to 9, it sat at 8, it was at 7, but all Trick needed was 3 to become the Iron Survivor.
This is my time. I like it. Oh, yeah, man. I love it. I love it. Come on, Trick. Give me some, dog. Oh, yeah, man.
Now, a lot of congratulations go out tonight to Trick Williams moments ago, but also Dragon Lee, the new North American champion, and he gets handed the gold from his hero, Rey Mysterio.
Hey. Sorry, man. Look, I know how you're feeling right now, and I...
Do you?
Hey.
Sorry, man. Tonight, it wasn't my night.
What? You kidding me? You guys did great, both of y'all. You should have had your heads held up high. Come on now.
Hello! Unlucky cowboys. You should be hanging your head in shame.
0 for 2, you foolish boys.
Wait a minute, did I miss when Lash, so-called legend, won the Iron Survivor Challenge?
Excuse you, I didn't lose. I ran out of time. Thank you.
Oh, that sounds like excuses to me.
She had 2, you had 1. That means metaphor is twice as good and twice as nice.
Oh!
We're excited. WrestleMania is right around the corner.
Yeah, Mayhem, Destruction, WrestleMania, they all go together.
But we also want to remind everyone that the first NXT of the new year, it is New Year's Evil on January the 2nd, and we know that our Iron Survivors tonight will receive their NXT Championship matches on that night. Do not miss the first NXT of 2024, New Year's Evil.
Oh, yes.
Well, these two have brawled in parking lots, destroyed each other on a devil's playground, and this personal vendetta now locks these two inside a solid steel cage. Right after this break, for our subscribers on Peacock Premium Plus, let's take a look at where this all started.
Away from deadline, and things are out of control around here. You saw what happened in the trainer's room.
If you're at deadline, I'm at deadline,
Roxanne Perez and Kiana James cannot keep their hands off of each other. So it's official. This Saturday at deadline, Kiana and Roxanne will finally settle their differences in a steel cage match.
Now, Kiana James has held it out for me since the day that we got signed together.
Please welcome the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament participants, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James.
And I know exactly why, because I won the Breakout Tournament and she didn't.
Perez has made history tonight.
Jealous of Roxanne? No. But what I am is sick and tired of everyone around here giving her all the praise. Roxanne Perez, Women's Breakout Tournament winner. Roxanne Perez, Iron Survivor. Roxanne Perez, Women's Champion.
Congratulations, Roxanne Perez.
I want my women's title back. And at Halloween Havoc, I'm taking it.
You think I was gonna let Roxanne Perez get another chance to gain another championship? No.
Who the hell? That's Kiana James!
Roxanne Perez has been the golden child of NXT since the minute she walked through the door. Ironically enough, the same day I walked through the doors of NXT. Did everyone just forget that I was in the Women's Breakout Tournament? I was also in the Iron Survivor Challenge. I even captured my own tag team gold. But where are my flowers? It is now my mission to make sure the entire world sees me above Roxanne Perez. Kiana James has been here, and it's about damn time you put some respect on my name.
Hey, it's Kiana James!
Roxanne isn't gonna win the Iron Survivor Challenge this year because she's not in it. Courtesy of KJ.
Kiana James came after me out of jealousy time after time after time. And I'm done. I'm done.
I'm Kiana James. I'm an entrepreneur. I've built my reputation on deadlines. And tonight, I'll build my career on one.
People try to underestimate me, but I think I've proven that that's a pretty bad choice.
Everyone wants to talk about this edgy side of Roxanne Perez. We'll see how edgy Roxanne is when I throw her ass in a steel cage.
Tonight, in a steel cage match, I'm going to end Kiana James.
Yeah, we about to
Well, Booker, we had 2 Iron Survivor matches. We've had a North American Championship match, and now we're getting settled in for a steel cage showdown.
The following contest is a steel cage match, where the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. Introducing first, Roxanne Perez.
What do you attribute to Perez's change in aggression since this summer? You talked to her more than anybody here.
This started a long time ago. I mean, Roxanne Perez started training with me at Reality Wrestling at 16 years old. She has been hearing me say it many, many times, over and over. This is about business. Roxanne is thinking about history. She's thinking about legacy. She's thinking about going into the Hall of Fame one day. That's what this is all about. The Prodigy.
Well, for Perez, she seems at home almost inside that steel cage. Sometimes there's a little bit of trepidation when someone walks into a cage. Roxanne Perez is smiling right now, Booker.
She's achieved so much, Vic, at only 22 years of age, and she's only wanted this since she was just 8 years old. And now she has that dream has come to fruition. Whoa. Okay. Boss.
A boss who means business here tonight.
And your opponent, Kiana James.
Talk about feeling at home in the cage if you're Roxanne Perez. Kiana James has never competed in this sort of match, has never competed in this sort of environment. And when you hear from Kiana, you get a sense that there's a lot of jealousy in Kiana James towards the success of Roxanne Perez, and there has been for quite some time.
No. You go back to the breakout tournament 2022.
Whoa.
When you get beat by a rookie, Vic, somebody you think that's a rookie, it makes you feel a certain way.
Well, finally, this matchup is official as these two, including Kiana James, I should say, Kiana James right off the bat was trying to get that knockout blow, and we've seen what's been in that bag in the past. These two have battled on a Devil's Playground. They've had brawls in the parking lot, in the training room, all over. Now here in the steel cage, and there's nowhere to run, Booker. There's nowhere to hide, excuse me.
Yeah,
pinfall, submission, only ways to win.
No, it's about going out here and just letting it all hang out. And right now, Roxanne Perez, she has a lot to prove, but I must say Kiana James has a little bit more to prove, Vic. She needs a victory tonight.
It's hard to argue with you. And again, that steel cage, which almost came into play for Roxanne Perez, is Perez trying to turn things around. And who will be the first to taste the steel tonight? It is Kiana James who blocked it. And I think Kiana's had enough. I just looked at Kiana and she said, no. You can't win by escape. She's trying to run, create a little bit of separation.
Wow, oh man, bad fall there.
But Roxanne Perez did just enough to rock Kiana James and then rocked her right into the steel cage.
You said that.
Into the cover again, pinfall submission and a kick out.
You said that perfectly, the steel cage, the solid steel cage. I mean, you look at those steel posts, you look at the iron fencing, it could get gnarly, it could get unforgiving inside that steel cage. And for me, when you close that door, I'm claustrophobic, man. I can't stand it.
What a night it has been. It all started with Shawn Michaels and CM Punk in the center of the ring.
Punk's back.
Live trending #1 for Deadline all night long. And you got to imagine those two have had probably an interesting conversation tonight. I wish I was a fly on that wall.
You know, Punk said it, you know, in his first promo. He said, you know, it's about money, man. It's not about making friends. It's about making money. I've said that to Roxanne Perez many, many times.
Well, she might be looking for a money move from the top.
Look at the strength.
Tried to use a little bit extra with the advantage of the steel cage, and instead spine first into the steel. Goes Perez in the cage designed to keep others out while containing the competitors. Booker, I look at you because we've already seen the steel come into play. What are the dangers of the steel cage?
No, just degrading right there, Vic. Like I said, those poses, it's unforgiving inside this steel cage. For me, I hated being inside the steel cage because there again, it takes years off a career.
Oh, you just saw the hand of James was caught into that steel mesh. Excuse me, Roxanne Perez was caught in that steel mesh, and it was Kiana who was taking full advantage, and this is all legal. And there you see the face of Perez pressed up against that steel, and Kiana, the conniving one, she doesn't give a damn what she does and who she hurts. She wants to hurt Roxanne Perez tonight.
Well, it's about make or break right here, Vic. Being inside the steel cage, I mean, you can use the cage any way you want. It's all legal in a matchup like this. And Roxanne Perez, she's just going to have to, so to speak, man up.
That steel has ripped flesh. It's bruised a lot of egos. And Kiana James right now, keeping her foot on the gas, getting a little fancy. And oh! Again, very impactful. Kiana James into another cover, hooks the leg, and Perez able to kick out. And I can say a lot about the conniving attitude of Kiana James because it's cost her this year. She lost her tag team titles because of her attitude. She's had this rivalry with Roxanne Perez, which you could argue cost her a spot in the Women's Irish Survivor Challenge. But she's been holding on to this personal grudge, and it might work into her advantage inside the steel cage.
You know, Vic, to get a win is one thing, but to get a win over a rivalry is something different, as well as to get a win over a breakout winner, Iron Survivors champion, former NXT champion. Yes, oh yes, you got to go out here and do work.
Well, Perez right in it. Oh, a spine buster.
Beautiful spine buster.
And Perez able to power out one more time. Perez, who is the winner of the first ever Women's Irish Survivor Challenge match last year, did capitalize, became the NXT Women's Champion. We know it is Blair Davenport who will be facing Lyra Valkyrie on the first NXT of the new year, New Year's Evil. But how about the women's division getting turned upside down, just like Perez, bam, with that spine-tingling spine buster, the return tonight of Cora Jade.
Oh, one bad little sister. She's back, and I love it, man.
Gotta wonder what Cora Jade's thinking right now, seeing her former bestie, her former friend, her former partner, Roxanne Perez, get decimated inside this steel cage.
Get off of the friendship stuff. I mean, Cora Jade, she got off of it. Well, why can't you?
Maybe I got a big heart, Booker. We're friends. And oh, there was nothing friendly about the steel cage that Kiana James just ricocheted off of. And we've already seen Roxanne Perez victorious in that Devil's Playground match, right?
Yes.
We've seen her win when weapons were wild.
Just that Roxanne Perez got great anticipation, just like you just saw right there. And trust me, you cannot think for 1 second that Roxanne Perez is not going to find her way back into the game. Here we go.
Perez looking for a little extra on that press. And now maybe getting her second, her third win. Weathered that storm up front. Big right hand. Nice drop kick. Taking down James. And the Prodigy is feeling it in Bridgeport. You can just hear the rage coming out of Perez. And oh, you might see the welt start forming on the body of James.
I mean, turnabout is fair play in a matchup like this. And right now, Roxanne Perez, she knows the end game, Vic. She always talks about getting back to the championship. This is what it takes. Let it all hang out.
It was Kiana James who denied Roxanne Perez her chance to make more history here in NXT by becoming a two-time Iron Survivor winner. And she's using that right now as fuel.
And I talked about using that fuel, using that something that take you to that dark, dark place. That's what Roxanne is right now, Vic.
Big uppercut, fouled it up with a nasty forearm. And look at Perez, rocking, rolling, Russian leg sweep, floating right over.
Very, very fluid motions right now by Roxanne Perez, and she's going for it all right here. Oh, yes.
Right into the back. Will this be enough? Perez into the cover and another near fall. Again, pinfall, submission, the only ways to win tonight's steel cage matchup. And maybe right now Kiana James is starting to realize bad business deal, making the Prodigy her business.
No, I don't think it's a bad business deal. I mean, right now she's down, Vic, but this is about the end game. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is a cage match.
Roxanne got to the top rope, looked up, and got a smile on her face.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. One thing about these cage, I always go back to Superfly Jimmy Snuka. You just want that moment, just one time. Oh, no, man.
Well, this could be another moment made here at Deadline. Well, Kiana James almost would... You got to think James now has a sense of urgency, because she did not want what was about to happen. But both these women are high up. Booker, how high is the cage? 20 feet? 20 feet above the canvas?
Easy 20 feet.
High above the NXT universe. This personal vendetta has brought these two to go to some extreme heights, and I literally mean that.
This is dangerous, Vic. This is dangerous. 20 feet high upon the steel cage. Oh, my God, man. Not just claustrophobic, but I'm scared of heights as well.
James trying to hold on, doing her best. And Perez held by the ankle. And Kiana, act of desperation, bringing in Perez, because Perez was looking to go very high rent. And oh! Off her footing for a moment, and again that hand caught dangerously in that mesh, face first, but now there's another danger.
Oh, Roxanne's in a bad, oh man.
Power bomb from the bottom rope off the cage.
The back of the neck, Vic, right in the back of the head right now. Roxanne
folded too. She got folded up, and Kiana falling into a cover to win it. Perez able to kick out again. And again, the lengths these two women are willing to go in this matchup. Kiana, who has never been in this environment, and certainly Booker, entering a cage match for your first time can be intimidating. I don't necessarily think Kiana James has been intimidating.
Not at all, Vic. I mean, only can win by pinfall or submission. A matchup like this, too, that gives it extra added pressure. You can't try to sneak out of the cage and steal a victory or anything like that. You got to earn it.
Bouncing off. Oh! Booker, that was Pop Rocks.
That was, but not able to make the cover. And still took the worst wear out of that, Vic. She still.
Certainly did, but that at least has now opened a door for Perez. Perez sensing it. Perez realizing it. Crawling over into the cover. Hooking the leg. A little bit too much time taken, and you start looking around, and there's a great shot as Perez in disbelief that James able to kick out of Pop Rocks, but it took her a little bit too much time to crawl into that cover. You look up from the monitor, you're seeing the elbows are scraped, the backs are bruised, the welts are forming. Pop Rocks was countered by James, face first, went Perez in. Well, you can't win by escaping the cage. Kiana's just trying to get the hell out of Dodge, trying to get away from Roxanne Perez by any means necessary. Oh, no, book.
Great plan, Vic.
Booker.
Great plan. Wow, what a great strategy, Vic.
Got her hands on that steel chair. and it's all legal in this steel cage matchup. But it didn't pay off. Ooh. Right to the uh-oh. Turnabouts, fair play. You can beg and plead all you want, Kiana. What are you doing? Come on, wait, Hoover! That's Izzy! That's Izzy Dame!
Wow.
Izzy Dame! What the?
Come on, Vic.
She's been at the side of that conniving Kiana. Deal breaker with the assist from Izzy Dame and the steel chair. You gotta be kidding me.
Come on, man.
Here is your winner, Kiana James.
Booker, that just sucked the air right out of the NXT universe that is packed into the Total Mortgage Arena here tonight. Looking back, this is the best moment. Pop Rocks connected, but again, the steel cage took so much out of both superstars. Perez wasn't able to capitalize, and then Izzy Dame making her presence felt at the right time. And that would open the door, bam, for Kiana James. With the use of this, I'm absolute disbelief that Kiana James came to Bridgeport with a plan, and she executed it to perfection alongside Izzy Dame.
Riley Osborne, the live wire that is going to cut through all the competition.
Keanu Carver. I didn't come here to break out. I'm here to break bodies.
The name's Tavion Heights, so get with it, because we coming from the top, and we ain't leaving till that's where we stand.
This is my time to be way at the top. Me and my guys gonna pay out the block.
Leon Lennox, a competitive fury, a ferocity, a passion, work ethic unmatched.
My guys are high risers, high tide.
Outside of the ring, I'm referred to as a legal eagle of the law, and that will translate inside the ring when I file a motion to win.
It ain't a game now.
I'm Miles Bourne. I'm the last of a dying breed, and 2024 will be my year. I'm gonna make my mark.
Lions coming out to play now. Opposition out the way now.
Sweeping through the trees, uprooting, changing the landscape. That is what Trey Bearhill is bringing. I am the ruler, the destroyer, and to every single man, I will allocate my judgment accordingly.
It ain't a game now. Me and you, we ain't the same now. Lions coming out to play now. Opposition out the way now.
Well, get ready, Booker, because 8 superstars looking to make a name for themselves. This year's men's NXT Breakout Tournament starts on Tuesday. But what a night it's been here at Deadline, and Tuesday is shaping up to be must-see, because after Eddie Thorpe made his presence felt earlier, this rivalry will write its next chapter. Thorpe not at 100%, but wants another crack at Dijak. These two go one-on-one once again on Tuesday. And tempers flared earlier tonight. Well, this Tuesday we will have a 6-person mixed tag team matchup. It's all live, and it's all going down on NXT. But it is main event time here at Deadline, and Baron Corbin has downplayed Dragunov's lifestyle in an attempt to frustrate the champion. Is tonight the end of days for Dragunov, or can the Mad Dragon's fire burn down Corbin's ship? Members of the WWE Universe subscribing to Peacock Plus, let's reflect on how this main event came to be.
Dragunov has done it! I promised to push this brand to the next level with a fire that only the Mad Dragon can blow.
I'm very proud to be the NXT champion. I traveled home recently, and my son was holding this title for the very first time. He looked at me with pride in his father. This represents 30 years of sacrifice.
I will turn this championship reign into a symbol of uncomparable passion.
Incomparable passion? What the hell does that even mean?
That's Baron Corbin!
That man's rage, his anger, his phony intensity doesn't fool me. I'm the only man that has put Ilya down, and that scares him. He's ducking me. He's not giving the guy who actually deserves a title shot a shot.
Baron! You want an NXT Championship match so bad, huh? You got it! I'll see you at Deadline!
Baron Corbin, with this title on my shoulder, I'm a different animal. Remember this. The only person who can slay the dragon
is the dragon himself. Because I agree, Ilya. The life of a champion is lonely enough. Coming home to a cold, empty apartment, no one to share your day-to-day with.
Ilya, you turned your back on your son. You walked out the door, you got on a plane, and you left.
You only have one reason to be here, and it's that title on your shoulder. And that just so happens to be the one thing I'm missing in my life. My life is better. I have generational wealth, expensive cars, and a big mansion. I kiss my wife and children every day and every night before going to bed. So at Deadline, I'm taking that title from you, and you will have nothing left. And me, I'll have everything.
Baron, you brought my personal life into this. The sacrifices that I make for my son so he has a better life. That is a line that you have crossed. Your body will pay for this!
What you're doing to your son right now, well, that's exactly what your father did to you.
You materialistic son of a bitch!
That's it! That's it! Breathe the fire! You think that scares me, Ilya? I have been through hell and back, and I always find a way. Do it right now for your family! You're a coward. You'll find a way to stay.
The only one who can destroy the dragon is the dragon himself!
Booker, this entire time, we believed that it was Baron Corbin, the challenger tonight, that's been playing Ilya Dragunov. But as we witnessed this past Tuesday, it might actually be the other way around.
Wow, what an entrance.
Did you not even hear what I just said?
What was that? I'm sorry, I was checking out.
I just said that Corbin's been the one playing Ilya Dragunov, but it's actually Dragunov who may have been playing Baron Corbin all along. Did you not see that hug? Did you not see the look on Baron Corbin's face?
I did see Ilya Dragunov compose himself, contain that mad dragon inside of him. We'll see how this thing play out tonight, because we know all about this man right here, Baron Corbin, who came back to NXT to find someone, that lone wolf inside of himself. Oh my God, man. This is gonna be a matchup for the ages.
Can Baron Corbin capture the NXT Championship? fire-breathing Mad Dragon. And I want to ask you on a serious level, do you feel for Dragunov when it comes to someone else talking about your family like Corbin has done? Talking about why you leave your house every day?
On a serious note, I mean, that's the one thing you do not do in this business. You don't talk about the wives. You don't talk about the kids. You don't want to bring mom into the picture. That right there can take you to a place that you really don't want to go, especially with someone like Ilya Dragunov, who's looking to conduct his greatest symphony here tonight at Deadline.
These two are a different breed of superstar, and I can only imagine what it's going to take to keep the other down here tonight.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT Championship! Introducing first the challenger, Baron Corbin! And his opponent, he is the NXT Champion, Ilya Dragunov!
All right, Booker, do you agree with Dragunov going back to Tuesday that the only person who can slay the Mad Dragon is the Dragon himself?
I mean, you got to think about the road that Ilya Dragunov took to get here, Vic. He didn't get the easy route. It wasn't handed to him or anything like that. He had to earn the NXT Championship, and hell is going to freeze over before he give it up easily.
Well, this one is underway. It's official, and we'll see how Dragunov can contain himself in this matchup, because, look, take a look at the history of Ilya Dragunov here. Baron Corbin's smart. He knows that others have gotten under the skin of Dragunov, that have forced his intensity to work against him, that have made him go over the line, whether it's to lose a match or to lose focus. Dragunov, though, has learned to control his emotions, and we've seen in the past his ability to topple unbeatable challengers.
I mean, talking about making me a believer, Ilya Dragunov is the real deal, but he's in there with somebody like Baron Corbin, a former Golden Glove boxer. I mean, a guy that's played in the National Football League. He knows about competition, Vic.
And to that point that you just brought up, when you talk about Golden Gloves, do you notice the right hand of Baron Corbin is taped tonight?
That's to land that big shot, Vic. You don't want to hurt any knuckles or anything like that. And I get it.
NXT Universe like they've been since the start of the night. Split down the middle, voicing their opinions on the edge of their seat all night long, from how the night started to 2 Iron Survivors to a new North American champion to now the NXT title being on the line in our main event.
I mean, this truly is a main event right here. I mean, Ilya Dragunov is a guy who's well. Wow.
All right, back in. Here comes Dragunov. Dragunov ducks a clothesline, picks up some steam. It just got taken right back down by Baron Corbin, and this is how Corbin can start to frustrate another superstar. He's so skilled.
The strategy of Baron Corbin right now, he's just trying to slow down Ilya Dragunov, trying to take some of the steam off of Ilya Dragunov early, and I like the mindset of Baron Corbin.
Coming into this matchup, Dragunov had to realize that the challenger would have the size advantage. And you could argue it's Baron Corbin who has the power, the strength advantage in this matchup.
Not just that, he's been playing mind games on Ilya Dragunov since Halloween Havoc. I mean, a beat down here, a beat down there. Definitely trying to soften up Ilya.
Oh!
That was nothing soft about that.
You heard that in New York. And now a big knee by Dragunov. And look at the champion trying to rally, and then just gets turned inside out and dumped over the top as Corbin looking down as his chest is turning a bright red. But right back in comes Dragunov, and this is that perseverance, this is that presence, this is that undying ability and will that Dragunov possesses that we've seen since his very first day here in NXT.
The keys to victory for Baron Corbin. He's going to have to separate Ilya Dragunov from his senses, Vic.
You know, they're getting a little bit too close.
I don't like
and the
it.
way this night has gone, I'm getting out of the way. Because Dragunov Corbin, referee using his discretion. He obviously wants to see a victor in this matchup. Countout does not do Baron Corbin any favors. Has to win by pinfall submission inside the ring to become the NXT champion.
Yeah, I like the referee's discretion, Vic, because he should be a definitive victor in a matchup like this. This is for the NXT championship,
But
man.
that was a German suplex on the floor. And Baron Corbin is feeling the pain, and look at Dragunov. Dragunov has heard what has been said about his son. He's breaking the count because he wants to inflict more pain. He wants to inflict more damage onto Corbin.
Referee's doing a hell of a job letting this thing play out, Vic. I'm loving it. I'm loving it right now.
Referee's at 4. Corbin heard the official, but Corbin, look at that, a little extra damage. Whoa! Oh! Corbin all smiles as the official checking on Ilya Dragunov. And I don't know if it was the table or it was a rib that cracked, because our crew here has come out after the night we've had, and they've reinforced our table finally here tonight. And it might be paying off for Baron Corbin, who's now focused on the ribs, focused on the midsection, focused on becoming champion as Dragunov kicks out.
He can stop it!
There is no stop in the champion.
No, it's no quitting Ilya Dragunov. And we talk about this kid, he can take all the pain you can dish out. Seems like pain is his pleasure, Vic.
And have some underestimated Corbin's desire, we use this word for Dragunov, his will to become the NXT champion. We've heard him on Tuesday what his goals are. We've heard him talking about restoring order on this brand. We've heard all about the WrestleMania matches and the main events, and the list goes on. But have we all underestimated Corbin's desire to be the NXT champion?
I think so, because Corbin came back here to NXT for one thing. He wanted to fuel himself. He wanted to find that warrior inside of him one more time, that lone wolf. And I tell you, Vic, the NXT championship put him right at the front of the table again. I love it.
And I think some do forget that one of the last individuals to beat Ilya Dragunov is Baron Corbin.
In the middle of that square circle.
One person who hasn't forgotten, by the way, is Corbin himself, who just sidestepped the champion. And now right back in, Dragunov in Corbin's grasp, and face first over that top turnbuckle. And you see the agony on the face of the champion. And he's going right to his ribs. How many times do you see someone get hit in the face but grab another body part?
Yes, right now, Baron Corbin is taking Ilya Dragunov apart piece by piece. And I tell you, Baron Corbin is looking more dangerous than I've ever seen him, and more focused than I've ever seen him at this point of the game.
Oh, and he almost has to be in. Oh,
wow!
Extra authority, buckling the knees as the smile again comes across the face of the sinister Baron Corbin. Booker, you have drawn a line in the sand that there is a line that you don't cross, and that's talking about another man's family. And Corbin has hurled insults about Ilya's lifestyle, his son. That maybe is why Baron Corbin seems more dangerous than ever before, because he has to be.
No, I think Baron Corbin actually feels like he's the most dangerous man in NXT right now, because he's the one man that put Ilya Dragunov down, Vic.
Well, if Corbin gets his way, he could put Dragunov down for the count, but there's that fighting spirit of the champion, who's barely hanging on. And you got to imagine right back, even holding himself up, the damage that's been done to that midsection. You see Dragunov holding on to the ribs, but he doesn't give it. No one home on the senton. More damage is done. Corbin now, target acquired. Boom! Big clothesline.
That's the scouting right there.
Turning Dragunov inside out for the NXT Championship, and a deep cover, and
beautiful hook
barely
right
kicked out.
Man.
There wasn't much for Dragunov. You talked about this move just a second ago, a beautiful clothesline. It was well scouted what was to come. There was a payoff, but here, look again, Book. There wasn't much on that kick out.
No, but
there wasn't much for Dragunov.
It wasn't. That was a textbook cover right there. But Ilya Dragunov still just got a little fumes left in the tank. Baron Corbin just need to just keep the hammer down, man. Keep the hammer down.
We talk about the rib injury, and I just looked up and I'm looking at the face and the body of Dragunov, and you start to wonder about what internal injuries could be happening. Booker, you've had to compete, I'm sure, with injuries to your ribs in the past. What's this going to do to Dragunov at the late stage of this matchup?
I mean, you can look at him and tell, Vic. I mean, the body language of Ilya Dragunov right now, he's laboring, and I think it's because of those ribs.
Trying so hard,
Couldn't do it,
he couldn't. And Dragunov again tried it, got turned right around into an DDT.
Man.
Corbin has brought his best here tonight. The former United States champion.
We talk about those battles, Vic. We talk about those wars that you go through that take a little piece of you every time. We wonder if Ilya Dragunov is at that point right now.
Well, we can go back and think that the turning point in this matchup had to be when Corbin dropped Dragunov right on our announce desk, which was reinforced, and you just heard that nasty. Oh.
You wanted a hug? You got it!
I mean, that was the hug he was counting on. And oh, a little extra.
Man.
Corbin insulted by what transpired on Tuesday.
Dragunov laboring right now, Vic. I've never seen Dragunov in this much trouble. The referee may have to have the wherewithal. I'm not sure.
And you got to look, Baron Corbin's not looking just for a victory. He's looking to embarrass Ilya Dragunov, because not only would he take his title, he would embarrass Dragunov in front of his son, who we have to assume is watching or will watch this tomorrow. Dragunov again, just getting overpowered and down across the knee.
Man.
And right back in goes Corbin, cinching in that Dragon Sleeper. He would love to make the unbeatable, the unbreakable Ilya Dragunov quit.
Ilya just landed about 3 big knee strikes right to the temple of Baron Corbin to kind of slow the momentum down just a bit.
I don't know what Ilya Dragunov's got to do to get back into this matchup book, because we've seen Dragunov in some wars, and there's that loaded right hand, that takedown. It could have been looking for end of days. Dragunov had it scouted, knew what was coming.
So close.
And a big right hand again, this time to the throat. Corbin is buckling the knees of the champion, and the challenger in control. Oh, kick just rocked Corbin for a moment.
That was another knee strike, Vic. Another knee strike.
How much is behind those strikes?
I mean, right now, look at Corbin. He's down. He's feeling it. There's got to be something behind it.
Big knee. He certainly felt that one, did he, Booker?
Yes, indeed. Right now, Baron Corbin is down. I'm wondering how much is left in the tank. He's put out a lot early in the matchup.
Gotta wonder what's left in Corbin. What's left in Dragunov? Dragunov just pulling himself up to the top rope, pulling himself with maybe every ounce he has left for himself, for his family, for his son. Looking for that send. And this time he connects. But he bounced off Corbin to the opposite side, and you hear the anguish and pain the champion is in. Take another look. And as much damage as Dragunov did to Corbin, did he do the same amount of damage, if not more, to himself?
I mean, those ribs, I mean, I think he landed on the Baron Corbin's hip, right there, that hip bone area. And right now, I'm telling you right now, that could really hurt.
It is all about the NXT Championship. The main event here at NXT Deadline, the final premium live event of the year in the WWE, and its champion, its challenger, slugging it out.
I don't think you want to throw hands with somebody like Baron Corbin, who's a champion in boxing.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
Dragunov got up, and with one more open palm, dropped Baron Corbin, champion, challenger, down. Turning point possibly in this matchup.
We're in those deep waters right now, Vic. We're in those deep waters. We're going to see who's going to drown here tonight at Deadline.
Dragunov welcoming Corbin, but right back in goes the champion. And let's not forget it's the champion who says he welcomes pain. He loves pain. But how much can he withstand tonight here against Baron Corbin? Corbin with a forearm that might have just caught Dragunov on the bridge of the nose. Second one. Dragunov down, back up, fires off with a clothesline. Corbin somehow still standing.
Corbin's rocked.
And he might only be standing because those ropes are holding him up.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
One extra for good measure. We mentioned these two being a different breed, a different caliber of superstar. They're showcasing that here in the main event.
Dragon's breathing fire right now.
Certainly is. And oh, my word.
Man.
Oh, what a kick from Dragunov, but so much taken out of the champion. Needs a little bit extra to get in to maybe his next sequence because he's been looking and finally delivered another German with the bridge into the cover. Corbin kicked out at 2.5. Feel this kick. I mean, just look at Corbin's face. Just get boom. What did you call that earlier? The snout?
Yeah, that was the snout. That was the snout.
Well, Dragunov got every bit of Baron Corbin. When we talk about the rib injury, now we have to start wondering how much has been taken out of Dragunov. Will he have any core strength left to execute some of his more high, powerful, high caliber, high impact moves?
That's your question right there.
Couldn't do it. And now look at the official doing a great job. Dallas Irvin checking on the superstar, that being Ilya Dragunov. I've said it before, I'll say it again about Ilya. Sometimes an official needs to step in to save a superstar from himself, but in this moment, Dragunov is at least still fighting.
I get it. Have the wherewithal, the understanding, know how to do his job. And right now, the referee is doing a hell of a job letting the thing play out. Like you said earlier, Vic, we need a definitive victor here tonight.
Look at this book. Dragunov with Corbin, with all that pain shooting through his body. Corbin right back to the ribs. That's where the bullseye is.
Talk about that core strength right now. Ilya Dragunov has zero core strength in this situation, but he's still fighting.
Back to the stomach again, back to the midsection. Corbin. Dragunov. Top rope. Oh! A super choke slam from the top.
Wow. Corbin asked Ilya.
And look at Corbin. Corbin right now is crawling, senses it, trying to get into the cover. Championship on the line, center of the ring, and Dragunov again, left shoulder, just getting off the mat.
That was instinct right there.
Look at the impact. I want to focus on the impact of Dragunov's body. Oh, bouncing off the mat. With all the damage that's been done, and back to the live action, looking for another submission, looking for another Dragon Sleeper, trying to get a body scissors is Corbin, but look at Dragunov who's able to slide a foot in between.
Let me tell you something, Dragunov, for a second, Vic, he thought about tapping.
I don't believe that,
No,
Booker.
I can see it.
Dragunov's not trying to tap. Dragunov just wiggled his body free from the grapevine of Baron Corbin, trying to counter the pressure, certainly has done that, and now Corbin is losing control.
Still out of position right here.
Back to his feet. Dragunov goes up, goes over, turning it around, looking for another German, and again.
That elbow right there was behind the head, Vic. I'm gonna tell you right there, that shot right there is an equilibrium shot. Shot can knock you off the box.
No way. How? Dragunov, drop it!
Man.
And that was a nasty landing for Corbin. And again, every second right now, unlike the Iron Survivor challenges, this plays in to Dragunov's favor because he can get a little bit more breath. He can get a little bit back on his feet.
Indeed, the back of the knee right there. Baron Corbin looked like it whiplashed off of that second rope. Could be a hyperextension.
And now look at these two, the difference between them. Corbin's choices have been made for himself. Dragunov's have been made for his family. Oh, deep six! And that three is all Corbin needs for the title.
Let's go! Wow.
No, not to be done just yet.
The fight in that Mad Dragon, Vic, it's no quit in him.
But there's no quit in Corbin. Corbin quickly got right back up, and he just felt this moments ago, delivers a version of it back to Dragunov. Right back to his feet, hook in the front face, looking for the suplex brainbuster. Brainbuster by Corbin, into the cover. Another hook and a leg. Does Dragunov have anything left? That may be it.
Wow.
That may be all Dragunov has left.
Triple combination from Baron Corbin still doesn't get the job done. Wow.
Corbin's got to be thinking right now, what the hell do I have to do to keep down Ilya Dragunov? And for Dragunov, he's got to remember that he didn't turn his back on his son, like Baron Corbin has said. He's fighting to give a better life for his family. That is what is on the mind of Dragunov. That is what is in the heart of the champion. But how much left does Dragunov have? Looking for end of days is Corbin. Dragunov able to roll through, back to his feet. Champion now, tried this earlier, couldn't hoist. He certainly does now. Corbin trying to counter.
Oh no, he couldn't do it.
Second time.
Couldn't do it, still can't do it, still can't do it.
So much to be taken out of Dragunov. Will the third time be the charm? He's got to empty the tank, and he does! Powerbomb!
Wow!
Jackknife style. And just when we think this man has nothing left to give, he finds a little bit more. He finds a little bit more.
Dragunov went deep, deep, deep down into tank right there to pull that one out, Vic, and here we go. He's going up top.
You got to question what Dragunov's thinking about, because he's going all the way to the top. He can't even keep his balance book. Somehow able to go coast to coast.
Wow.
But again, he's holding on to the ribs. So much damage has been done by Corbin, but Dragunov has done the same amount of damage to himself.
You know, when Corbin dropped Ilya Dragunov right here on this announce table, you say you heard a pop. You don't know if it was the table. You don't know if it was a rib. I'm thinking it's the latter right now, Vic.
I know he loves pain. I know he's able to persevere. Dragunov with his son on his mind. Looking for that one final, oh! Almost caught again in end of days. Counter though by Dragunov, who gets hoisted, who DDTs Baron Corbin. Oh, and that now gave new life to Dragunov. H-bomb! A second! This is for everything that Corbin has said about his family. That line you don't cross, Corbin crossed it, he ran by it, Dragunov hasn't forgotten about it. A third H-bomb. What? What? I don't know what Dragunov is saying, but what the hell do you say to someone that you're about to obliterate? Corbin is out on his feet. 3 H-bombs and a torpedo Moscow. Dragunov stands tall once again.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov.
I don't know if he's made of steel. How do you break what quite possibly could be unbreakable in Ilya Dragunov? What a showcase in this matchup for both these superstars. Take nothing away from Baron Corbin. Corbin brought his A game, hit that deep six. Dragunov was somehow able to kick out. Dragunov's ribs, Dragunov's midsection was decimated in this matchup, but it didn't stop Dragunov from pulling off unbelievable feats like that coast to coast, which rocked Baron Corbin. Bam! For the second time, he was able to connect on a big strike. But here maybe was the turning point for Dragunov. This DDT where he was able to overpower Baron Corbin, which led to not just one, not just two, but 3 H-bombs, and then bang! That torpedo Moscow, which would be the decisive factor here tonight. And unlike Corbin's prophecy, it's Dragunov who has everything. Corbin left with nothing. Long live the Tsar. And there's the #1 contender, the Iron Survivor. Can Trick slay the Mad Dragon? NXT title on the line. New Year's Evil.